Welcome to Kamloops, and over the next 9 days, Canada's tournament capital will be home to Canada's curling best. Included in a talent-laden field, we've got a 3-time champion and a few Olympic gold medalists too. And we begin with a 2-time Brier winner, John Morris, as he goes against the 2010 Canadian and world champion, Kevin Koe. So strap yourself in for a great week of curling. It is the 2014 Tim Hortons Brier next. We are in South Central British Columbia in Kamloops, and this is the second time that the city has hosted the Canadian Men's Curling Championship, the last back in 1996. As we come inside the Interior Savings Center, home of the Kamloops Blazers, they're on the road, and the 4 sheets of ice have taken over as curling has come back to Kamloops. And on this Saturday, we say hello, Canada, and welcome to our opening day coverage of the Tim Hortons Brier. Linda Russ alongside. Nice to be back with you after the Olympic break, and that's where we have to start. And first of all, congratulate our 2 Olympic teams and their gold medal wins. And let's talk about Jennifer Jones and a remarkable performance, Linda, and people suggesting that she's never been better.
Well, not beaten. And you talk about adjectives. How many adjectives can we use? Spectacular, determined, dedicated, focused, everything about their play. Big shot after big shot. Spectacular, as I said, weak.
I think I wasn't alone, Russ. When Brad Jacobs got off to a 1-2 start, was a little worried, were you?
Yeah, I was. I have to admit I was. It wasn't necessarily their play. Sometimes the opposition didn't cooperate, and the 1-2 start, they weren't playing that bad, but what a turnaround. 8 wins in a row against the best teams in the world in the most important event. What a finish for Brad Jacobs.
Yeah, congratulations again to both of them, and we look forward to seeing them down the road somewhere, I'm sure, with their gold medals on. Now, the man, of course, that lost to Brad Jacobs in the curling trials to go to Sochi, well, he is here, and that is John Morris, representing BC, and he heads the group that we're going to call the top 4.
No kidding. And how do you pick from the top 4? 3 of them, Morris, Stout, and Koe, have all won this thing before, multiple times in some cases. The only one on the outside looking in would be Brad Koe from Newfoundland. He's only the world champion in the Olympics with a gold medal for our country. So who do you pick in that foursome?
The next group are all been here before. The question is, do they have what it takes to step up, and including James Grattan, New Brunswick, and out of Oromakto.
Well, James has been here 11 times. I had a chance to play with James for quite a few years. Great player. He's not going to get fooled with the strategy. He's not going to be intimidated. But it's a newer team, so it's hard to say how they're going to bounce back from last year's 5 and 6. But the Roach brothers on his team, it's their second time here. They're going to play a lot better. I think for the other team that I'm looking at that nobody's giving a lot of credit to, Vic, is Jean-Michel Menard from Quebec. He's won this thing before. I know he doesn't play as much on the tour as the other teams, but if you've won this thing, you know how to win this thing. That's going to make a big difference.
And not playing enough is definitely something that the territories always have to deal with, and Jamie Koe does. 2 years ago, he did make the playoffs, and for Steve Laycock, another lineup, another change. His best performance in the past was with Pat Simmons.
And our final 4 include a couple of newbies. This gentleman, though, is a Canadian champion, Canadian junior champion, Jeff Curry from Thunder Bay.
Yeah, the rookies will have to take a close look at them. I think the one everybody's looking at is actually the other rookie team from Ontario, and Greg Balston, because he beat Glenn Howard in the provincial final. You talk about PEI in Nova Scotia. They have been here, have struggled in the past. They will have to turn that around.
So those are the 12 teams that will compete for this year's Canadian Men's Curling Championship, and we get it going with a terrific matchup. He is the 2010 Canadian World Champion representing Alberta, Kevin Koe, and he goes against maybe the second hottest team in our country behind Brad Jacobs, and that is John Morris in BC.
Alberta's a great team. We want to make sure we're prepared the same way for every team and not take anyone lightly and not treat anyone differently.
So other than Howard and Jacobs not being able to come from the Olympics, I think probably the best team from every province is here. So tough field. I think every game will actually be pretty hard.
We're gunning hard for that maple leaf on our back in Beijing.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee, a true Canadian tradition.
Draw one of this year's Tim Hortons Brier, and PEI goes right on the ice against Manitoba. And Jeff Stoughton, Nova Scotia will open up against one of the contenders, Newfoundland Labradors, Brad Gushu, gold medal winner 2006. Our feature game is on Sheet C, and on Sheet D, New Brunswick against Northern Ontario. And one of those newbies, Ontario, has that first draw by. It's time to meet the teams now, brought to you by Ford, a proud partner with the Canadian Curling Association for 20 years.
Hi, I'm John Morris, skip of Team British Columbia. At lead, we have Rick Sawatsky. At second, Tyrell Griffith. Throwing 4 stone, Jim Cotter. And we curl out of the Kelowna and Vernon Curling Club.
Hi, I'm Kevin Koe, skip of Team Alberta. Our lead is Nolan Thiessen, second Carter Rycroft, third Pat Simmons, and we curl out the Glencoe Curling Club in Calgary.
And it will be John Morris and BC on the right that do have the last rock. They won the draw to the button. They'll play the red stones. Alberta will play the yellow. And making his way out to put the brush down is the Alberta skip, 39-year-old Kevin Koe. And to get us underway, the Alberta lead is Nolan Thiessen.
This is really a great combination of two teams. I talked about adjectives for Jennifer Jones and all the amazing things that they did, but lots of great adjectives can be used for these two teams. And when you talk about Kevin Koe, one of the words that comes to mind is powerful.
No kidding. He can throw it as hard as anybody, and I think I'd argue that the harder he throws it, the better he is. He's so accurate with those big weight shots, and we saw that out of Jacobs last week, but Kevin's one of the best for sure, and I think Johnny's going to have to keep an eye on that early.
Both teams have great leads. We've seen them have big numbers in the past, so they really can play any style of game. There was a little moment where John wasn't deciding whether or not he wanted to put up a guard or go in. Part of the reason being enemy guard out there, and we know what Kevin Koe can do with guards and move them into the house, but he has decided to make come-around play.
Real hard.
Yeah, both these teams aren't afraid to dance in the first end, and I think you can see a lot of rocks in play. That yellow guard's in a good spot. It's very raisable.
Good stuff. So Rick Sawatsky tries to bury it, gets to the center line, tucks a corner.
You noticed, Linda, in practice, David Merklinger and his crew here this week, and there's maybe a wee bit less curl in some of the events, and you can see Nolan's here. It's taken a long time to finish.
Come on, Kevin. Come on, come on. Go, 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 go. Keep going.
Boy, just an early indication of just how lively the stones are. Two of the contenders hooking up there in this first draw, the game plan.
I think it will be opposite. I think for John Morris, he'll try and control the front. Long guards maybe overlap the guards, but try to get into the quiet come-around game where we know Kevin Koe. He likes to set them up and then run them back, make the big hits, and that's how he scores.
The game plan is brought to you by World Financial Group, helping families have better financial futures.
Now, the come-around game will be interesting because of what you pointed out, Russ. If you can get mostly buried with a draw, a tap will not be easy.
That's a great point. A lot of people think because you can see part of the rock, it's easier to hit it. Not if it's straighter and there's enough curl, beautiful curl with draw weight, but it's that in-between shot you saw Nolan just miss that I think is going to be the key one. Which skip can put the berm in the right spot first?
Okay, boys.
Okay, so 10 feet more than you were.
That's probably too much ice.
Shade less. Yeah.
And the one nice thing for Kevin Koe, and for any of the teams that have the upweight ability, he has it throughout the lineup, so he can actually make his decision as to when to either bail out with that big weight or apply pressure with that big weight. He doesn't have to do it early.
Curl on its own. T-line, T-line.
You saw that silver medal for Carter Rycroft. It came, of course, with Kevin Martin in Salt Lake City in 2002. Well, you see out here these two teams coming through that, what was for them disappointing for Alberta in the road to the Olympic trials and going to Sochi, and John Morris, of course, losing the final. Good afternoon, Kathy Gauthier. These two teams have had a nice bounce back, haven't they?
Well, they really have, and part of that was just planning their season, Vic. They looked at how long it could be and made the decision that after the trials for 30 days, they would not throw a rock. Both teams said they played hockey, they skied, they did a number of things, but they did not curl or talk about curling to get their mojo back. And for John Morris, he really feels that even though he says it hurt so much to lose that final to go to the Olympics, he feels it really prepared more than anything they could have done the team for games at this level. He also said that playing with these three gentlemen has given him his heart back to curl.
I gotta throw this, guys. Wow.
Well, we saw that, I think, at the Road to the Roar and then eventually the trials in Winnipeg, that he looked revitalized, didn't he?
Well, the nice thing for John Morris is he came to a team that totally embraced his leadership, and that doesn't always happen in a fast turnaround, coming in the summer and suddenly trying to play in the fall your very best in an Olympic trials year. But there's a little miss. For Jim Cotter, he likes to throw last, but his best success was when Bob Ursel was the skip in third. Exactly the same model. And you have a guy in John Morris who's won the World Juniors, the Worlds, the Olympics, and so there's a leader you can trust to step up and call the game.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant situation for both these players. It's a win-win for the whole team from British Columbia. Johnny's strategy is impeccable, and like you say, brings that experience and the enthusiasm. But Jim Cotter is a wonderful rock thrower, and he's not afraid of the big moment.
Terrell Griffith throwing the second stones for these BC champions out of Vernon and Kelowna. And we'll roll it away from that center guard. So John Morris, as we suggest, if Brad Jacobs is the best and with a gold medal hanging around his neck, easy to say that. John Morris has been on a wonderful roll as he came through that Roar of the Rings, beat Kevin Martin, his former teammate, and then lost to Brad Jacobs in the trials final to go to Sochi. As you look across the field here, the fact that Koe bounced back to win his province over Kevin Martin. Same for a disappointing trials for Jeff Stoughton out of Manitoba. He made it back. And then there was Glenn Howard, of course, and he came within one shot of getting back, losing to Greg Balsden in the Ontario final.
Should be quick coming in, right?
Yeah.
I was surprised at that call, Linda. I thought they might hit the side one and shrink that scoring area a little bit. Now Johnny can separate these two reds with a shot right somewhere around the tee line. There will be no double if this isn't the right spot.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing, boys. It's going to be...
I think it'll slide nice, but a few feet. I think it's
it's going to be quick at the end.
Yeah, at the end it'll be
What we want to do is sort of keep a broom down as long as it's not through the rings. Keep a good broom down early.
Where do you want, T-line?
Yeah, split the rings.
So that conversation is an exact conversation you need to hear to understand the leadership style in this team. John Morris is the leader, and he guides, he mentors, he discusses, he sort of provides all the information for every player in the team, and yet they embrace that style. That's why it works. He has given them exact information where he wants this rock.
We're good.
Line's good. Wait only. Line's good.
Yep.
Go.
At the end here, it should die a little bit as it curls away from that line. There won't be any rocks over that far early.
Hard. Keep going, boys. Keep going. Good stuff.
BC with last rock, and they are sitting two.
Good shot.
I may answer my own question here, Russ, but if I'm at home, I'm thinking, why wouldn't you go behind that yellow? Is it because, in fact, it is yellow?
Yeah, exactly. And so close to the rings, and it's also Alberta that can race it, and they're real good at it. That's what Linda talked about at the top of the show. It also leaves two red ones right close together. Even if that run back's not made properly, they'll be a little closer together, the reds. There's maximum separation here for John Morris, and that's what he wants. It's only 3 tries to get out of this for Alberta now.
Weight's good?
No.
And what's going to be interesting about this particular kind of ice being straight, these rolls will be tough, in particular from the outside.
Little bit.
We already saw one wide open miss of a hit this end because of how straight it ran. So getting the rolls will be tough.
If you're a young skip out there, that's one way to remember it. Just keep track, a mental track of what's happened here. We saw Nolan Thiessen missed a rock that didn't bury enough because the buried rock didn't curl enough. That's an undercurl. Nolan missed and rolled out undercurl, and then a complete flash on the wide side. So everything's been missed on the wide side so far.
Control, boys.
And it will mean this kind of weight choice will also be important for all the teams, not overthrowing it. This is where you can tighten the broom, still play the quiet weight, and engage the brushers early to hold it if you need them.
Whoa! Clean. Just clean. Clean! Wait, skin!
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Whoa!
Clean!
Whoa, whoa,
John Morris skipping, throwing the third stones.
That one took off.
And this one will roll behind and just out the other side, sitting full in the 4.
It actually came up pretty good.
It's interesting to see what they
Came up
say.
pretty good. Yeah.
That jumped.
Good call, Jimmy. Sorry. Should have been on her.
It's all right.
Not that my head. You know what? It's the more we play the spot, the more it curls.
Curling, yeah.
Wow, interesting.
It's okay.
It's quite unusual. Usually as the pebble wears off, it smooths it down. There's less friction. You have less curl. And they're heating that area up, I guess.
Well, it's the wrong guy to leave this kind of shot to.
Yep! Hard! Hard!
Thiessen, Rycroft. Wow, they feathered. You're going to get them both. Look at that action, and not quite to push it out to 12. But they did well just to hold it by the center guard.
Yeah, that was touch and go to get by there for a while. Just well brushed. Look at that. Tight, but it was a, you're going to miss it thin or thick. That was the way to miss it. Missing it thick rolls this into a nice spot that Jimmy Cotter has to deal with and could set up a double. It's hard to roll too far towards the center. Jam it onto your own.
$39-year-old Jim Cotter. He is a native of Kamloops, so it's a nice homecoming for him.
Whoa! Whoa! No roll, no roll, no roll. Good.
And no roll at all. It sits right there.
Toss me. The weight okay?
Yeah. Great throw, Jimmy.
The roll, but probably peel again, you think, just to make the double?
I would, yep.
Our first update, Kathy Gauthier, Prince Edward Island, Manitoba. And Manitoba sitting one, looks like covered back edge of the 4.
Well, they are. The red stone that his second shot was raised. The corner guard raised by Eddie McKenzie on his first one. Lovely shot. And that left Jeff the come around. It is deep. So he needs full 4.
Hard! Make sure, hard.
The PEI champions out of the Charlottetown Curling Complex. And very nice start for PEI to pick up the single. Kevin Koe got one, and he'll run it by.
Okay.
Okay.
So he just needs nose again.
Use that straight.
Is that an easy deal?
No. Well, why don't we do this?
Did I overhear somebody say, boy, it runs straight?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's been the theme, hasn't it? That's 4 or 5 in this end that have missed on the high side.
You think the same kind of
They're
shot?
just getting fooled. The ice is beautiful, but it's a little bit less curl than these top teams usually see. So who's going to make that adjustment? That's a shot that Kevin's making asleep.
Kind of weight.
And those are frustrating, waiting for it to curl as opposed to taking a little less ice and brushing it and trying to get it that way. But still a tricky hit here. You have to get it by your red.
Control!
Final stone here in this first.
Real nice! Just control! Hair quiet!
Jim Cotter, Terrell Griffith, Rick Sawatsky have backed
Just
right
control.
off here. They just need to
Almost board.
touch this back to sit the 2.
Great shot,
And
Jimmy,
a
boy.
forward to roll too far. Very nice. It's nice to be home. Jim Cotter back in Kamloops for the Tim Hortons Brier.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of the Canadian Curling Association for over 20 years, by M&M Meat Shops, frozen food at its best, and by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like cashmere.
Some other scores on this opening day. The Tim Hortons Brier, Newfoundland, Labrador. Brad Gushue, Ballyhaley Country Club St. John's opens with a single against Jamie Murphy out of the Lakeshore Curling Club in Lower Sackville. and a blank on the board, and you may expect that with the first-timer here. Northern Ontario's Jeff Curry from Fort William in Thunder Bay against James Grattan from the Gage Golf and Country Club in Oromocto. 2-0 BC as they score a couple, and it will be now Alberta and Kevin Koe that has the last rock. They have the hammer here in 2 playing the Yellowstones.
Very nice first stone to start this in by Rick Sawatsky. It's on the top 4 foot. That guard may be a little bit of an issue that Nolan Thiessen threw very long. First of all, it won't be all that helpful about getting a rock in behind it, and definitely it'll be in a way of a few shots on that side of the sheet.
Yeah, it could block the path right to the button.
Hard. Good. Hey, good. Shot.
Good. Shot.
So going to the 4 foot with his first, and then now Rick Sawatsky throws up the center line guard. 33-year-old Nolan Thiessen.
There, right?
Yep. Nolan's going to have to scare that one. We just talked about that long guard to make this perfect.
Back 4.
Not a good call.
Right.
Oh. Would you ever consider just going up and saying, I know this is going to be a potential problem for me, and going and ripping it right away?
Well, yes, I guess you could, because it caused a problem there, but you're down 2, Vic, so that you don't want to make a play like that, and that would give John Morris a freebie and give him a chance to bury another one. I don't think that's a great idea. They can use that rock. It's a long one, but it's usable.
Sorry, I've been off for 2.5 weeks.
That's right, yeah. It's a little rusty there.
Sorry, I don't know what I was thinking.
Good bump. Clean. Board. Clean. Whoa. Maybe here, board. Never. Clean, yep.
You could have been a little gentler with your criticism. Just a brutal idea.
You were wrong.
These BC champions come out of the Vernon and Kelowna curling clubs, and it was eventually a win over Jason Montgomery, 11-2, as they went undefeated. John Morris.
Hard! Whoa.
Good.
Carter Rycroft. It's a great ability, isn't it? To be able to have somebody on your team, that ability to run a stone back and get that many stones out.
This has to be one of the best teams in the entire world that can get out of jail quick, and that's a great shot. Now, Carter missed a bad one last end, so he's going to be motivated, but not only did he move 2 opponent rocks out of the way, but now he's controlling the scoring area. That yellow one is a very dangerous rock for John Morris.
Jarrell Griffith. And, you know, just further to that, Linda, when we see Manitoba,
It's heavy.
they've made a change at second with Reed Carruthers dropping down now, and Mark Nichols moving up to second for that exact reason.
Yeah, Mark was terrific at that same shot. He's actually been a very good lead, so it'll be interesting to see how he transitions into that second position.
Yep.
Air too deep.
Good, except for that. Huh? All right. Yeah.
The double's pretty simple for somebody like Carter Rycroft, but they want to actually hit it really thick to get the second one thicker to roll on top, to actually be underneath that yellow guard. This is going to be humming.
Yeah, you saw the hand signal. It was above the head and flying with the hand.
It's just, that's what I'm chuckling about. Kevin Koe just put, just way up here, just somewhere up in the heavens, that kind of weight. What's he got? 1. Jump it across, and then he'll sit there. He makes the double, but sits out in the open tee line in the 4 foot. Kevin Koe and his team from the Glencoe Club in Calgary. In their final, they beat Kevin Martin 7-5. They started round robin 1 and 2. Interesting to note, it's only been Martin or Koe as the Alberta champion since 2006. Martin 6 times and Kevin Koe 3 times.
Good hack. Clean. Good clean. Whoa.
That Alberta stone stayed out into the open.
Clean. Whoa.
Had at this point, it really looks like these quiet shots, these half to board weight hits are going to be the key for the whole week.
Yeah, we haven't seen one over curl yet. So it's all about getting that broom into the right position. That was close.
Came down to what?
It's hack. That was pretty good rate. Just hack when it cut down there.
Pretty good now speed, eh? Here, I think.
Yeah, not too bad at all out here.
Go garbage. Oh, Jimmy.
Pat is certainly used to all these kinds of shots. He was skip and fourth in Saskatchewan and came onto this team, moved to Alberta and took on the third position. Hard to tell about him in the third position. He was so sick last time with the flu. I felt so sorry for him.
Got it going on.
Going on, going on.
Got to get it out. Don't want to be forced. Just keeps the blank alive here for Alberta.
Right here, Swat.
It's all about getting that soft weight and trying to get to that inside because
Brent, just see a little bit of
Pat actually rolled partly underneath. That forced VC to roll open, and
same way, boys.
now there's a chance to get underneath.
It's a hair more.
It's a hair more.
Hair more. Whoa.
Clean.
Griffith Sawatsky with a judgment right out of his hand. Just a little more weight.
Yep.
And they haven't touched it till now.
This is plan B rolling away.
So Russ, let me ask you then, if and it did, it ran a little straighter. That little extra weight just took enough curl out so they couldn't get across the nose of that stone?
Yeah, exactly. Whereas I really believe 12 months ago and with this at the Brier, that shot would have curled. So it's up to these skips to make that adjustment. We've talked about a lot already. And every shot that's been missed, now there hasn't been that many, and some of them are only missed by a fraction, but there's another one 2-3 inches wider than John expected. Yes, it was a shade heavier than he expected, but there's no curl in that area. They have to really tighten the broom up here.
Not heavy.
Pat Simmons in a seventh Brier appearance. Where will this jump now? Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. As he'll nearly bury it to sitting top of the button.
Had no roll as soon as I started sweeping it.
It still took a long time, even with a relatively quiet weight.
Beautiful shot, though, all the same.
I still kill it on my first one. That slid pretty good, actually. It's getting better.
The ice will definitely change through today. It's still relatively green. It was played on for practice, but it's really this kind of play over the first couple of days that will really get things going. And also the ice makers will be having a look and deciding what they need to do over tonight.
It's game one for them, too. They need to adjust the size of the crowd, the humidity levels, the temperatures. It's a great-looking service, but just like I say, it's a hair straighter.
Whoa, clean up! High! High! High!
Jim Connor is first. They got it by. Oh!
Just a rub.
And then that little touch will push that stone just a little more behind cover.
Lazy sweep. That was my fault. Sorry, Jim.
Once again, and John takes full credit, but those are frustrating. That could have been brushed early. With that quiet weight, they're not going to lose it. I think they could have taken a little more of a chance with that early brushing, and John's frustrated with himself. There was one last end also,
yes.
and they got away with it. They made nice shots after that. But, that was a really tough one, just rubbing it.
Like he threw a 4 in practice.
I think this will curl for you.
Okay. Looking for a
75.
I was going to say 80.
80. I don't mind
side.
80. Yeah. So you threw a 4 with his out turn in practice. I think we're looking at a 380.
Is this
you
the
like
same
that?
ice as Ty's?
It's a little less.
I like a little less, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Than he had.
380.
So what, you're thinking like here, back line?
Yeah. Yep.
So two things they discussed there for weight. One is the interval time, and that is backline to hog, and the other is relating it to the first end and practice time and the other side of the sheet that was played a little more at that point.
Same back line, so they feel it's 6 feet slower. I think that's a lot, because they threw a lot of these in practice. If anything, this could be a little quicker than that.
6 for sure. 6 for sure.
Is good. 7's terrible.
6, 7. Whoa. Yeah, you got. Whoa. You. Let it curl.
Oh,
and down
nice.
on top to sit 2.
Pretty good.
Prince Edward Island, we saw, Kathy, they scored 1 in the first, and at this moment it looks like Manitoba is sitting just, well, no, I think the Red Zone PEI sitting shot rock.
They are, but a chance for Jeff for 3 for sure. It all went bad for Eddie McKenzie when he tried to run a corner guard back. He hit it on the outside, chipped out his own shot stone, and that's really led to an opportunity here for Jeff.
So Jeff Stoughton, 3-time Canadian champion.
Curl a bit.
Carruthers, Nichols on the brush, John Meade calling line, and no, I guess he was trying to touch that Yellowstone over maybe and kick the other red sideways.
Could have, but he got the 2.
He got the deuce. So a 2-1 lead for Manitoba.
2.
Another one that ran a little straight on that sheet also, Linda. That seems to be the theme.
Everything's starting to curve a little more, too, as we break it in,
And this is the consequence, though, of just rubbing that front stone. If you kick it over, then Kevin Koe can't make the play he just made. And that first rub is costly. Now you're just trying to get rid of something.
This isn't easy. You can only see a small half here.
Yep. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah.
Jim Connor and his last. Bang. And he'll squeeze it, squish that stone just to the top 4. And it'll be an open draw now for 2 for Alberta.
That has to be your favorite word this year. The 2013-2014 season is a squish.
Is a squish?
If you had to, get
squish the
8
fish.
foot, you know, it might have been, but that's the long.
Remember that? It was always about the Marlins, wasn't it? Was talking about the Dolphins. It was always that was Buffalo's favorite word. It was squish the fish when Buffalo would play the Miami Dolphins.
So you've gone to the Wayback Machine and brought that word up.
Yes. Yes. And every year I go further back. Unfortunately. It's an open draw for 2.
Line's good. Same line. Hey, wait's there. Wait's good.
You love as a skip to throw the exact same shot. You get a real feel for the 2 stones you're throwing.
And I thought Pat Simmons played a big part in it too, Russ, in just giving Koe the confidence with his first one to put the brush down and saying, I think it'll curl, Skip. I think it'll curl. So there's the draw for 2, and Alberta evens it up. Welcome back to Kamloops. Let's continue with our updates. Northern Ontario has a chance here to blow it open early, Captain.
Well, they sure do. James Gratton wrecked on his first one, and for Jeff Curry, this is same shot. He just threw any piece of the paint.
Wow. You
can see that James had nothing to hit at, and that draw that he threw, that's the one they're just pushing away, well short.
Wow, Northern Ontario, put 5 on the board. And a big lead over James Gratton. Here in Kamloops, the 85th Tim Hortons Brier, the Canadian Men's Curling Championship. Our featured game, BC against Alberta, trading deuces through the first 2, and here in the third, it will be British Columbia that has the last rock, playing the Red Stones. The Alberta lead, Nolan Thiessen.
7. Hard then. Hard. For line? Yes. We're there. 6. Yes. Hit it a little high. Hard. Top. Hard. Keep going. Go.
No, we're getting some curl now. That one kept going.
Yeah, they have to throw it so much harder in that first end when the pebble's there, that friction that doesn't have time to curl. And you're right, Linda. That's big. That's the most curl we've seen for sure in that spot.
I thought you just didn't quite get out to it.
Slight miss of communication there. The brushers really weren't committed to brush that because they knew it was deep, but they lost the line.
Just bite the 8.
Let it work if you can, guys.
Just bite the 8. Room.
Top 8.
Let it work if you can.
Whoa.
That's the trick at this level. You know, you sit at home and you watch and say, how can they be 3 inches narrow? They know that spot. Well, the spot changed. It's gone from maybe 3.5 feet of curl to nearly 4 already.
Good. Whoa. Good. Shot.
Good.
Another nice come around.
It really came down, eh? Planted.
Right in the nose.
Now Carter missed a shot, a wide open hit in the first end, but this is where they do need the bailout from Carter, playing the run back.
It's in the same spot where he missed too, so they know it's poker straight here.
36-year-old Carter Rycroft. Simmons, Thiessen, nothing yet. Run this back. One, and
the other way.
It'll leave the BC Stones sitting top four. They're wide open. The BC with last rock and sitting a couple.
I don't like the way Carter's sliding, Linda. It looks like he's not getting out to the broom with his body. He's definitely left on all those out turns, and you have to pitch it back to the broom. Looks like you're hitting the broom, but the rock's actually floating and almost falling as it goes down there. And not only did he miss it, he missed it on the wrong side.
I don't even think his balance looks a little really not like Carter at all.
Not at all, you're right.
I think you need less.
A little less.
Slide better.
Should slide pretty good. Say we're there. Real close. T-line, back 8. Back house.
You have to be careful with the placement of this one. Those two in the middle are so close together, you might have to sacrifice one of them. And double could be made. Is why this one has to be in the right spot. I don't want to leave a triple or a hit and roll.
Shot that. Okay, just a little less, eh, Ty? Get that draw slide, buddy.
There's the coach in John Morris. Telling him to slide. Watch that feel. It's a nervous time in your first game.
Just can't. This one's a little higher.
Because the double's so easy, they might take a chance at hitting this one really thin and redirect it this way. And they might get lucky and get that one also.
This too. Just don't want to hit this one too thick.
Yeah. Stay with the back there, Nolan.
Yeah. Really thin on the highest one, the one on the center line, and they might all fly.
Pat Simmons directing traffic. Nolan, you take that one on that side, and I'll take this one over here.
No.
He just mishit that?
Yeah, again, he's not sliding straight. It's everything's left, and he's pitching the out turn back so it hangs, and then he's sliding left so the in turn's going to hang, and they're going to have to make that adjustment. That's very unusual for Carter.
Low would be good. Good board.
You want to take advantage of any opportunity a team like Koe gives you. So these hits are really important. And again, placement of the stone once it lands is very important.
Okay. All right.
It's the hair solid, eh?
Just the hair, not much.
Solid board. Yeah, let's make this double anyway.
Pat Simmons settling in, and it was Pat's stone in the second that helped set up the deuce.
Well, we talked all along how straight it was. Everybody had missed wide, and Pat brings the speed down here a little bit, and they were really patient on the brushing here.
Not heavy.
Waited and waited and waited and tried to get as big a roll as they possibly could. Look how soft the speed is in this hit. Just enough to bump it out of the rings, bounce it over. Nolan gets it over as far as he can. And that created the error, the one that just smudged on the guard and then gave up that deuce to tie the game.
Whoa! Yep.
Simmons again. One and nearly gets them all going. The key shot brought to you by Scotty's Tissue. The perfect touch of design and softness. Nearly back-to-back key shots for Simmons.
As far as a team goes, you like to see this. Carter is definitely struggling. If it's his delivery or something else is going on, he's definitely struggling. So that means the next player in the lineup has to step up. And that's exactly what Pat Simmons is doing right now.
Nearly got them all. He wasn't far off. He brushed that a hair sooner. He gets all three.
Top 12. So a little more. Yeah, I like this board. Yeah.
You'd love to keep them the same distance from the tee line so there isn't a double, but that would mean you're hanging off the back edge of the ring. So it'd be much safer to go top 12. But here's a yes, there'll be a double. But they're almost 11 feet apart, so it's not going to be an easy one.
Hart. Take a look. Take a look.
Yep. Yep.
Hart.
Yep. All you got.
Hart. Boys, Hart. Good.
Great job
82.
to drag it to the top 12 to sit the 2 with last rock here in 3.
Yeah, I thought about it.
I think John Morris said at one point, take a look. And I don't think Rick took a look at all. I think they took that from the very beginning to the end.
They're too busy trying to breathe. I think.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well brushed. Nice position for that. The double's really not there. It would be a thin one, so they're going to try to approach this the other way, roll into the rings, and then two double chances later.
Never. Never. I got it.
Hard, Kevin, hard, Kevin.
Okay.
Jimmy, let's throw the. That's not bad. He can't roll too far, right?
No, you can roll over here. It's fine.
Here, yeah.
So I like board weight.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, right there. Tie through his, it ran just nice.
You're up.
If you're Alberta, that's a great roll. Now if play that out, if you had rolled way over to here, that allows BC to roll, and they've got all the rings to roll to. It's a much easier shot. Now, BC wants to roll this way and move it that way, try to roll it over that way, but they can't. They might jam it. So there's a good chance they're going to leave this red one in an area that there might be a double.
You know, I was talking about John Morris's role in this team. He gets so involved with so many aspects of the game. It's amazing he can achieve his focus for throwing, but he thought it was actually not his turn right now. When he put the broom down, he was putting it down for Jim. So sometimes he gets so wrapped up in it, he loses focus on that.
That's about all Johnny could do there, hit and stay, and there is a double on here now.
Yeah.
Still should curl.
It'll finish a little, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Manitoba with a 2-1 lead over Prince Edward Island, and 1, 2, and 3. So that's what's facing Eddie McKenzie from Charlottetown, Kathy.
Well, the yellow shot stone was just hit and stuck by Jeff. That was the attempt by Eddie McKenzie on his first to bury around that red stone just to the right of the center line. Did not get the finish he was looking for. The good news is that it is wide open.
Well,
Double is missed by Kevin Koe. 41-year-old Eddie McKenzie in a fourth Brier.
Full solid.
He's repeating as the PEI champion out of Charlottetown. Prince Edward Island has never won a Canadian men's curling championship. And that there, top edge of the 4, will give him the single to tie it at 2.
right? You like this at all, Swan?
I like your shot.
What's that?
I like your shot. Top 12.
Yeah, we're shot here.
Yeah, I know, but same as you, I thought.
Okay.
Or back 12, whatever you like.
I know. We got to be full 12 back here.
We already said the ice is going to change as this week progresses, but I'm going to be interested to see if Kevin Koe goes to the other turn. But he's sure sticking with that straight turn, and it's not coming up, and that means the brushers just follow it down.
Yeah, exactly.
They're really not involved at all. So thought he might go to the other turn on that one. Doesn't get the double. And it is a chance for Jim Cotter to draw this at 2.
Right? We got more rings.
Okay. What do you think for weight?
I'm thinking mid-90s.
Yeah. Not full up here.
Not quite. No, not quite.
Respecting the ability of Kevin Koe, trying to put this one deep. There was a talk about going high or deep, and they've decided on deep to make it harder to do anything with this.
Where is it? Gotta go. Where is it? Talk to me, boy.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Come on, come on.
So now Morris out to join Griffith and Sawatsky, and this is going to be a big drag, and this is what it'll turn out to be, is a drag for them as they come up short.
That is way short. That was supposed to be back 8 foot, so that's at least 12 feet light.
Took about 10 inches more ice than John. John made that shot twice in the first end and the third end, and they were a nice keen path on the center line, but that was out about a foot outside the center line. You wonder if he grabbed some pebble there.
He had like quiet board, and it actually finished up a little for him.
I'm thinking take some weight off, aren't you?
I don't mind that at all.
I still don't. Nothing's over curling ever.
We can hold it.
Yeah.
What a turnaround. It looked like a pretty simple deuce for British Columbia. Now they might be forced to draw against 2. Well, has to hang around here.
Take a bit off.
Like it. Just control.
Yeah.
Clean. Weight's good.
Easy, easy.
Clean.
Control. Yep. 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 Yes. Gotta go. Hard.
Thies and Rycroft.
Real hard. Hard. Good.
They did well to hold it, and now it sits at the back of the 12.
Good force.
And Alberta sitting the deuce.
Dodged a bullet there if you're Alberta, for sure.
And you knew Jim was standing behind the house looking at that come down seething, so he has to park that feeling of, man, did I just really mess this end up? And he has taken a little more ice, John Morris has, so slightly different path again.
Should be quicker, that's a good point, and you don't want to over-adjust. The chances are he won't be light after the last one, and this is quicker, so you got to be a little careful here.
Mine's good.
So drawing against two, top and back 12, needs a little bite of the white, piece of the 8-foot.
Gotta go, guys.
Hard, guys.
Oh boy,
hard.
Tyrell Griffith, Rich Sawatsky again here. Gotta go, boys.
Hard.
Gotta get it to the 8. Come on, a little more. Come on, a little more. A little more. Oh, and he's pulled the string twice. Goodness.
It's even heavier there.
Jim Cotter.
Okay.
I don't know. I added 5 feet.
Okay.
Pulls the string twice.
East.
Comes up short. Alberta steals 2.
Good hit on that one.
He was considered by many to be one of the best leads in the game. One of the great characters in the curling world. Neil Harrison, former world champion, won the title with Ed Wernick in 1983. The last time that we saw Neil was 2011 at the Continental Cup in Langley, BC, where he coached Team North America to a resounding win, and all the while with that trademark smile on his face. Today, we remember one of the truly good guys. Last Monday, Neil Harrison lost his battle with cancer. He was 65. And all of us here at TSN, in fact, all of us who love this game, our sympathy to Jane and the entire Harrison family. And the game that he loved so much, the Canadian Men's Curling Championship. The 85th, Tim Hortons Brier from Kamloops.
I had the pleasure, Vic, playing with Neil for 2 years, and just an unbelievable teammate. Just the greatest guy, always positive, and he always did those little things for the team on and off the ice. And we were lucky at the end of Neil's career, he played 2 years with us, so you just left Eddie Wernick, the great Eddie Wernick, and Eddie was, you know, out of my province, was the best team. And Eddie was kind of on the twilight of his career, and we ran into him in a bonspiel in Saskatchewan. We were down in the seaside struggling away, and one team was going to go home without any money, one team was going to qualify. Eddie was had to go first, and he throws a corner guard off to the intern side. You always throw a center guard. He throws a corner guard. And I looked at Eddie, and he's just chuckling, just laughing his head off. And I'm going, what are you doing? He says, well, I know Neil wants to throw the out turn, because all he ever throws is an out turn. I'm going to make him throw an intern. This rock was over against the boards. It was like almost, so I call the intern. Neil's in the hack. He just shakes me off. Nope, not playing the intern. I'm playing the out turn. So I'm out on the carpet. I'm out on the boards as far out as you can go. Nobody's throwing a rock there all week. Out comes this little out turn from Neil. On, off, top of the 8-foot dead buried. And he's chuckling, Eddie's chuckling, I'm laughing. It was just Neil. He just, he loved the sport, he loved the game, and we're really going to miss him.
Hey, well, you can see this.
I think one of the things back, I was playing at the same time as him, and he was brilliant at ice and stones, managing the stones, and I used to like to talk to him, because that's one thing I think every curler nowadays could still do better, and that's understanding what happens on the ice and what happens with those stones. And if you have a chance to sit down with somebody as brilliant as Neil, do it.
Geez, unbelievable.
He was wonderful.
And it's interesting that some of the people who were asked for comments, including Ed Wernick, Ed said that Neil made him. It was his ice reading ability, his managing of the stones that gave Eddie the ability to make the shots he did.
No question, Vic. I had to draw the forefoot to win a big bonspiel with the team, and I'd struggled during the game, and I was heavy on everything. And I threw this rock, and I'm screaming. I was pretty good at that part of the game.
Yes, you were.
And I'm yelling, get off it, get off. This thing's heavy, get off it. Don't even look at it, get away from it. And Neil's got his head down, and he's brushing and brushing like you wouldn't believe. We make the darn thing, and I come off the ice, and I said, why were you brushing that? I was screaming, whoa. He said, you didn't have any rotation. I knew it was going to slow down. I never had any problem. He knew where it was going.
Alberta leads at 4-2.
Can't get them all.
As we play in the fourth. Alberta with that steal of 2 to take the lead after Jim Cotter missed his last 2 shots, coming up light on both of them. And now Alberta is sitting the 3 without last rock as we play here in 4.
Jimmy got the first one, I think, was self-inflicted coming up light. He just didn't throw it, but the second one, I was caught too. I thought he was going to do a little quicker spot. They did too, and he thought he threw 5 more feet, which would have been fine, but that particular spot was slower still. And that's the hard part in this sport, is guesstimating how hard you have to throw it.
This is a
Well, the curlers here in Kamloops have had their thoughts as well about Neil Harrison, including John Morris.
I've looked up to Harry for many, many years. I remember going to charity events in Thunder Bay, and he held Harry's beach party. He always had a smile on his face. He was always one of the classiest guys in the sport. And I remember looking up to him as an idol, and also as someone I really, you know, he's a fellow firefighter, right? So we have that brotherhood there as well. And I remember when I was looking into a career and saying, you know, Harry, how am I going to make curling and a career work? He highly recommended firefighting and how great of a profession it was, and balance with curling, and he's just a guy that I've really looked up to for most of my career. So it was really sad to see that he passed away, and I'm sure that whoever who had the chance to meet him would feel the same.
And I think it says a lot when you talk about somebody and you talk about their profession, and I'll say curling. As much as he was a good curler, great curler, Neil Harrison was a better person.
No question about it. Just a wonderful guy. As John just mentioned, he basically was the success of that heart-to-heart bonspiel, a great charity up north. And he just loved the people and loved the sport. And when I curled with him, you knew where he was, because there was 6 other curlers sitting at a table listening intently to some wonderful story that he had.
Come on, go all you got. We're close. Come on, go. Really got to go.
2.5, 3. Decent. Rycroft on the brush.
Good brush. Good brush.
And they'll drag it across that center line. Again, it's Alberta sitting the 2 without last rock here in the 4th.
Great brushing there, Linda. I don't think they can get to the nose and make the double.
But I didn't give you too much. Every draw that we're on,
very easily jam this away, right? I don't mind him playing this.
Board weight over the top.
Well, that BC missed the tie, the second for BC, just got the one, and the shooter rolled out. That was a big problem. That meant the guard could be played, and now it is a tricky hit.
John Morris.
Yeah.
He's actually going to try to make it across the top, and with light enough weight, try to save the thrown rock. Now they're going the other way.
Angle it back, just touch it, and spills 1 and spills 2.
That was a great shot and a good ice read, and again, we've talked about the fact it's a little straight, didn't overthrow it.
That's why these teams are 2 of the favorites, because they've made that adjustment with this ice. Extremely close to the guard to make that double. Well thrown. We've got this spot figured out.
Weight's good. Clean. Clean. Whoa, no, off. Gotta be off. Off.
Little big.
Gotta be off. Clean. Whoa, let's try to get to nose. No. Okay.
Doesn't quite get to nose, just rolls away.
You'd love to get to the nose in that case if you're Pat Simmons, but what you can't be wrecking on the guard. So you had to be, could be too cute about it. You had to leave yourself some room. That's a good shot.
Well, Northern Ontario, Kathy, got that 5 in the second. New Brunswick has replied with 1 and 4, and as we play here in the fourth, rather they got their 1 and 3 as we play in the fourth. They're sitting 1 now again. Northern Ontario Curry out of Thunder Bay.
Well, and the second shot, Stone, belonging to James Grattan, is what he just threw there. Just tried to shrink the scoring area for Jeff Curry. Needs full 4-foot for the 2.
And John Morris makes the hit and roll and just pops out into the open.
Pretty good. Where are we? T-line, boys. T-line.
Line's good, T.
Right on the T.
That game on the left, New Brunswick, Northern Ontario. That's a lot of rocks in play, considering that they're up 4.
Come on, boys, get it there.
Colin Koivula and Jamie Childs. And there it is, the draw for 2. This first time for Jeff Curry out of the Fort William Curling Club in Thunder Bay, the former Canadian junior champion of 1996.
Good, it sounds like.
Are you rolling?
Yeah. Okay.
Draw around it. Board up!
Clean.
Big boards! Clean it. Yep. Clean! Hard! Whoa, 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 whoa! Never. No. Never. No.
Right on the nose.
And right on the nose he is.
Killed it.
Brushing held it straight. So no roll and open for a hit by BC.
And are you, if you're Jim Cotter at this moment, Russ, are you glad you're playing a hit?
Yeah, good point. You know, the weird part is that Jimmy's an unbelievable draw player. He just guessed wrong. That's all it was. It wasn't execution. It was just he just thought those spots were a little quicker. So yeah, I think you're right, Vic. Soft weight board waiter here. Give it to your brushers. You know you can hold it straight here. Try to roll it underneath here a little bit.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hair solid.
Clean!
Yep.
Whoa! Solid! Whoa!
Solid.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Yeah, good weight.
Boy, that just, I watched that rock. It didn't make it to the hack. Nice soft speed there, and it still didn't curl.
We just threw
I'm
the
just
other one.
wondering if you're still thinking roll this way?
I was, yeah.
The easier roll is definitely behind the red
You don't have to,
guard,
like, you're not messing
just
with
because
the
of how
guard too
straight
much,
it is, and you don't want to
Okay,
cut
yeah.
the guard too
Same
tightly.
method.
Or do you want to go? Do you want to go same ice and the hair less?
Hair less weight?
Yeah.
Prince Edward Island, Manitoba in a 2-2 tie, and Red Stone top of the button that belongs to PEI. Manitoba, Jeff Stoughton last to come, Kathy.
Well, it's a tough shot because there's not a lot of finish in this particular spot. Eddie McKenzie tried to pick a Stoughton stone out and just grazed it, but the mistake was made by Jeff on his first one. Came deep, allowed Eddie McKenzie to come down to it, and he made a lovely shot.
Whoa.
He needs to get to the inside.
Cooley's last on the way. He'll roll it away, sit there for 1.
Okay. Good throw, Jeff.
And the crash in front means it will be a steal of 1 for PEI.
Yeah. Made a little jump.
And Eddie McKenzie out of Charlottetown.
Yeah.
Great freeze by Eddie there. He was in big trouble. It rolls open. It's a 3.
The rock is wide open, so a chance to blank.
Clean. Good throw, Jim.
John Morris liked the throw. Good throw, Jim. Blank on the board. 4-2, Alberta leads. Day 1, Tim Hortons Brier. .48 curlers started the week with a chance to drive away in a brand new 2014 Ford Fusion in the Ford Hot Shots. In the final, Saskatchewan's Kirk Myers facing Darren Roach of New Brunswick. Myers, he was magnificent when it counted most, scoring the maximum 5 on 4 of his shots, including a beautiful hit and roll. So Myers, along with the help of his sweepers, Philippe Menard and Garth Smith, Myers goes on to the win, taking the Ford Hot Shots in a 2-year lease on a 2014 Ford Fusion Titanium 2-liter all-wheel drive with EcoBoost. Great way to start our coverage of the Tim Hortons Brier here in Kamloops, British Columbia against Alberta. BC opening with a couple, and then Alberta replied. That steal of 2 is the difference. As we welcome you back to the Interior Savings Center. 4-2, Alberta leads after the blank in 4. BC will once again have the last rock. They have the hammer laying the red stones.
There's 2 things causing John Morris some trouble right now. The first is the scoreboard and giving up that steal. But the other thing is the ice. That is now to come back in this game against a very good hitting team, you have to try and find spots that will curl. And I think these inside-out spots will actually move.
No, you're for sure. Look at this. This was outside the line by a fraction. There's the big curl rate already. Should go at least 4 feet if they get to the tee line.
Clean, just clean.
Yeah, that would have made it definitely to the edge of the 8. So 4 feet of curl there. So that changes your strategy as you go forward in the week. If it stays like that, you maybe play defensively when you don't have advantage of last stone, and when you do, in the case of BC here, go around those corners because that's the easiest way to bury.
Whoa, on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good. Look at that, good.
Kathy, our first look at Newfoundland Labrador against Nova Scotia, and it is Nova Scotia sending the one corner frozen. Final stone to be played by the gold medal winner of 2006 out of the Ballyhaley in St. John's, Brad Gushue.
And it's been a kind of a weird game, very conservative. Both teams a little nervous, perhaps, either with the conditions or just not super comfortable with the ice. Not a lot of rocks in play, not a lot of chances taken. But it was that final stone just thrown by Jamie Murphy. Lovely come around. I think it's the 4-foot is Brad Gushue.
Nova Scotia skipped by Jamie Murphy out of the Lakeshore Curling Club in Lower Sackville.
Yep. Go, John. Hard.
And the draw for the single to take a 3-1 lead, Newfoundland Labrador.
I just saw a lovely tap by Ty Griffith for BC. That rock was pretty well buried. It had a lot of it being in behind that guard. Nice job with the quiet weight. Didn't need to get the opposition rock out. Did move it far enough to sit 2.
That is a great point, Linda, for the new skips out there. You don't have to get those enemy rocks right out of play. That actually can help you, that one at the back. And that allowed him to throw soft enough weight to get maximum curl. Oh boy, here we go in that straight spot. Oh, just.
Still shaking his head, and
First shot.
no way he's
I'm not a huge
struggling
fan
a
of
little
that.
bit.
Probably
Carter
give him a
Rycroft.
double, eh? This will be good. Okay.
You know, Linda, I think back to
Nose isn't the end of the world.
Terrell Griffith. I mean, he's 28 years of age. It's his second Brier after 2012, and I can remember back that first time we saw him coming out as a BC junior champion, and all the question marks we had him. I think he's really come into his own as a player.
He's a very good player. It's hard, too, because this lineup has changed a little bit over the years, and you keep getting a new skip, a different person throwing last, whatever it is. It doesn't settle down anybody in the team, and Ty is still young and learning. So I think finally this lineup seems to be working very well for them. Now, I mentioned that Jim really likes the position of throwing last and not skipping. If you look at the 2 years that Jim Cotter did skip with 2 different lineups, he was only 4 wins, 4 and 7. And when he played with Bob Ursel, and Bob was the skip and took away those duties, they ended up with 8 wins. So quite a big difference.
Yeah, it's amazing. I think you have to be a certain type of person. You also have to be in shape as a brusher to do what he's doing. But Brad Gushue said the same thing when I skipped for him. He loved the fact that he knew the lanes, the paths, because he was brushing in those areas. And as long as you're physically fit, then you can jump in the hack and execute. And it seems to help Jim. You burn off a bit of energy that way, too. I think it's good. That last hit didn't give BC the chance to sit 2. They're only sitting 1 here, so they're going to change it up if you're Alberta and try to sit 2 yellow.
Yep. Yeah. Gotta go. Gotta go.
I've seen this spot before.
Gotta go. And there it goes. Not quite behind. Center line, top 4. Remembering now that it is BC that does have the last rock here in 5.
Boy, Pat's made some nice shots so far this game.
That's quite the contrast with Carter, who is normally a very steady player, struggling, and now you have Pat Simmons really filling in where he's needed.
Just through. Okay.
And it's hard when you're struggling. I mean, his first game, he's definitely going to change it around. Carter will come out of his little slump. He'll figure out what's going wrong, but really nice to see the team work hard to make up for little mistakes.
It's good.
And the rock is maybe half buried.
Clean. Whoa. Just talk. Whoa.
Clean. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Not a lot of weight here. John's got to hit it pretty thick to move it far enough. Oh, beauty.
Good shot.
Slides it out the
spun at the end.
back.
And edge 8 where we were there.
Yeah. What do you like in boards?
Kind of weak to it.
You can't roll in behind the yellow guard because it's not fully open, so it's going to be very important as to where you roll. A little roll will leave a double. They want a bigger roll than that.
Holy, that looks like a lot of ice, Pat.
Oh, it really came in there.
Yeah, but he had just bumped it through, like they had to sweep it. So
that's close.
What are you thinking?
Whoa. Don't jump it. Whoa.
Get off it.
Pat Simmons and that big wingspan of a delivery.
The room way out there.
He's fully extended.
Carter thought it was too much ice. It looks like he was right.
It's not even to get out of the rings.
that's.
I think so, yeah. Knows it? Knows, I guess. Yeah, it's shot.
Yeah.
Just,
Pat, you know, it's funny because before he threw,
like hack.
Okay.
Kevin Koe said,
that
what
one
are you
last time
thinking?
you
So
hear.
he did give him the out. He gave him a chance to speak up and say, hey, I think we're having a discussion about ice down at this end.
Yeah, it wasn't the shot call. It was actually the ice. And John throws his pretty soft when he has to. He can kind of just have a bit of a lazy release, a little bit less rotation. You saw Pat's had a ton of rotation early.
All we got to do is move it 5
That'll keep that rock from curling until much later down the sheet.
Well, it's a real struggle if you're New Brunswick trying to get back into this, isn't it?
Well, it is, but you know, the team from Northern Ontario, Vic, is giving them lots of opportunities, leaving lots of rocks around. They're removing the New Brunswick stone, but they're leaving their stones there. And so this is a chance for 2. Just needs to tap it back just a wee bit.
James Gratton, Darren Roach, Josh Berry on the brush, Jason Roach calling line. And that's enough to get the deuce. They'll go to the break. Northern Ontario up 7-3.
So just control. It's a hard one.
A little tap by John Morris means the BC is sitting 3, so Kevin will try the double.
That's like a normal or control?
Okay, if he makes a double, I think we throw the in-turn come around.
Weight's good.
Whoa.
Skip stones.
Whoa. Yep.
You're in 5.
Whoa.
Kevin Koe. Now, late strokes. 1 and by, and Shooter will roll into the open.
Just rolled a hair too far there on and off it. Those are so tough. You know, when you're crossing the face like that, if you know you hit it thin, it'll spin. If you hit it thick, it won't. That time it spun, so the thrown rock just glided that a little bit too far.
Just missed the double and just missed the roll.
Okay. Just board.
And I'm back in this same spot that is so straight.
Just board.
Yep. Clean. Yep.
Sawatsky and Griffith.
Board. Clean.
Whoa!
Jim
Clean.
Cotter in his first.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Whoa. Yep. Go, John. Go.
And very nice to punch it through. And BC, the crowd comes alive. Sitting the 3.
We often use terms in sports psychology terms of things like mentally tough, and one of the things that I think that means to me is be able to recover, and definitely Jim Cotter will be very upset with those 2 draws that he missed in 3, but I like his demeanor and the fact that he doesn't seem to let it bother him. He has just made a beautiful touch shot right there.
Weight will come back, and with draw weight will come back.
Right.
But when he's heavy on his hits, it sort of tracks, right? So it's hard to get a real good judge that way. So yours was nice and straight there.
I think Johnny's
way
he handles Jimmy helps so much.
I was about to say the same thing.
Jimmy, I played Jim so many times, and I've always said, oh my God, he makes a lot of shots, you know, when he played against you. But I think this is raising his level even more.
Got to hear less.
Kevin Koe in his last. Facing 3. Missed the double with his first.
Whoa!
Anything, Nolan.
Go, Nolan.
And nothing. No roll, no double. And so it'll be a chance for 3.
Okay. Why don't we throw the...
Why don't we throw that same weight then?
A little surprised in both cases that Kevin didn't try harder for the double.
Yeah.
With the lead he's got.
Exactly, because of the lead. A hit and roll's okay if you're tied, but make those doubles and cut them down to 2 would have made a big difference here. This is a control point here.
Yeah, keep coming, right? Keep right there, yeah.
Board.
Yeah.
What are we throwing?
Board weight, boys. Just board. Yep. Clean. Yep.
Looking for 3. BC to take the lead going to the break. Griffith, Sawatsky trying to hold the line here as this starts to curl here. Trying to hold it.
Oh, boy.
And they did a great job. Wonderful brush. Sawatsky, Griffith, BC picks up 3.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of the Canadian Curling Association for over 20 years.
Day 1 of the Tim Hortons Brier will continue with an update. It's Prince Edward Island against Manitoba, and PEI and Eddie McKenzie is giving Jeff Stoughton, a 3-time winner, all he can handle, Kathy.
Really has. Their team has put rocks in really good spots today. They took a lot of time looking at the 2 stones in the house, trying to figure out who was shot. Not a lot Jeff could do with them, and so this is a tap. Trying to score maybe 2, for sure 1. They'll probably measure.
Nice curl. Yep. Just wait, Reed. Stay with it, Reed.
Stay with it, boys, and that will get them to 1. Very nice. And a 3-3 tie as they go to the break. We were in the break in our featured game. Boy, that steal of 2 was big in the 3rd, but look at what BC has done. Come back with 3 of their own in 5, and so they lead it at the moment, 5-4. As John Morris standing by with Brian Boudreau.
John, opening day of the Brier, we've seen Jimmy make a lot of key shots for you, especially at the trial. So it's very uncharacteristic, the misses in 3. What happened there?
You know what? We just got caught in the spot a little bit. It was a bit of a fresher spot, and unfortunately, came up a bit short on those 2 draws. But I have complete confidence in Jimmy. If we got a draw to the 4th for the 10th end for the win, he's the man I want. So.
And you've said many times, ice in his veins. Is that reminiscent of that 5th end shot to make 3 to bounce back?
Yeah, it was a big shot, like a momentum shot there, right? Being down 2 and getting a 3 back is big. And, this is more of in our comfort zone rather than being, 2 or 3 back. So, yeah, looking forward to the next 5.
And finally, personally for you, Ontario, Alberta, and now BC, and you're at home here in a Brier. How special is it in this province with these guys?
You know what? I think it's even more special for Jimmy and the guys being from the Okanagan, and Jimmy being from Kamloops here. Grew up and born and raised in Kamloops, and you can tell he's a crowd favorite here, and this would be really special for him, I think, to win this Brier. So we're going to be backing him 100% and giving her our all this week, that's for sure.
Thanks, Johnny.
Thanks, Brian.
BC leads at 5-4 on the scoreboard. What are your numbers say?
Well, John Morris is definitely doing all the backing because Jim Cotter, don't forget, missed 2 draws, and still the draw percentage for BC is 87. Why is all that happening? John Morris currently is at 98%, doing a great job with his team.
The numbers after 5 are brought to you by Tim Hortons, Canada's favorite coffee.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group, creating a better tomorrow for families today. WFG. By Capital One, what's in your wallet? And by M&M Meat Shops, frozen food at its best.
Day 1 of the Tim Hortons Brier here in Kamloops. Second visit to Kamloops for the Brier, which has also hosted a World Men's and Women's Championship and a Canadian Mix back in 1986. 5-4, BC leads it as we play in 6. Alberta with last draw.
We talk about the importance of leaves rocks, and one of the mistakes for BC this end after that great 3 and 5 is Rick Sawatsky brought his first one deep, back 4 foot. Now it looks pretty innocent, but then there's been a couple of exchanges on rocks that were in the house with that corner guard up, and now a chance to freeze this. If this freeze is made, a blast is made. The corner guard now is in perfect position to be used. So one tiny little mistake can cause you a lot of trouble here.
Sit. Less than you think.
Sorry, Carter.
Quite in the corner, so it's probably easier to hit it dead on, take the back one, but you save the one that's thrown.
Just easy. Easy, Reg. Get little roll or the nose.
Reg?
Yeah. Just easy, Reg. Yeah.
Reg! Reg!
Clean. Whoa. Whoa. No roll, no roll, no roll. Perfect shot.
Couldn't hit that in a better spot. He actually saved the thrown rock. That was difficult to do. Neither one of them in great spots for John Morris, but the force is on.
Same weight.
Same weight, Dean.
Yep.
It was very nice weight by Carter. They just need to find the spot, move the broom in a little bit to get a different curl.
More. Hold in.
Don't want to. A little more.
Don't then. You have lots of room.
Okay. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Like 2 feet more. 2 feet more.
You know, despite the troubles he's had, Carter Rycroft, I'm speaking of, Linda, he's at 82%.
Yeah, the one wide open hit was definitely the big mistake. That's the one he missed earlier.
Jay. Just control. Yeah, control.
It is interesting, though, when you have slight difficulty with the slide, and lots of players can have that happen over the course of a long season. But in particular, those little problems with line do detract from the feel as well. So that's what Carter has to be really careful with, that kind of draw weight can be tough to find when you're sliding out that way.
You're trying to do 2 things at once, aren't you? Trying to adjust to the broom, and then all of a sudden you're thinking speed at the same time.
Never. Never. Oh,
wow, that's kind of close.
Yep.
Well, coming up next Wednesday, Trade Center 2014 has you covered all day, beginning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 Pacific, on TSN and tsn.ca. And make sure you download the all-new TSN Hockey app for complete Trade Center coverage. Every trade, every deal, everywhere you are. Distraction guaranteed, presented by RAM. Yeah, they are. see them throughout the hillsides here in the hoodoos in and around the Kamloops area. One of the biggest players is off the market already, of course. Buffalo Sabres trading Ryan Miller to St. Louis yesterday. So Trade Center and the push to the playoffs Wednesday.
Go, guys. Line's good. Come on, good line.
Good line, boys. Get
Hard, guys. Hard Nolan. Hard Nolan.
Keep going. All you got. All you got.
Still trying the freeze. This one is not quite as strong as the last two. Come up a little short.
Okay.
Yep. I like sort of a board.
Okay.
Forces John to punch it through the hole. There's a little bit of difficulty here.
I thought at some point with that rock being moved back, Kevin might just play the draw, the straight come around. To have decided to try that freeze again.
Gradual here, and you guys can hold it if you need to.
Solid board. Clean.
It's a hairbag. Clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Solid.
Clean.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hard.
Whoa. Whoa.
Hard. Hard.
Beautiful weight control by John.
Scrub, guys. Yeah. Good scrub, boys.
Updating Northern Ontario and New Brunswick. My goodness, he's already popped a 5. Can he make a bunch here too?
Well, he can make another 5, Vic, if he makes his stone go away. It just did not curl enough for James.
Jeff Curry.
Lead it. Lean. Shot, Jeff.
Goodness. 1, 2, 3, and 4 more. Northern Ontario. What a debut for Jeff Curry out of the Fort William in Thunder Bay.
It's like about 2 feet wide.
Weight's good. Yep. Whoa.
Looking for the hit and roll.
Weight's good. Board. Yep. Wow. Whoa. 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 Wow. Thin double. No. Thin. No.
Now that's interesting that Carter asked if maybe they should brush it, hit a little thinner and try and come back on that back red. Kevin called them off, but I think that would have been a good plan.
Yeah, right in between again for
Talk
Alberta.
about his speed, because it looked not bad.
Okay.
So the team, I think, doubting a little bit the ice calls. And in that case, even the line call for Kevin, and that's a tough position to be in.
Top 8?
Just straight rock or?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Kevin now faced with a position of not getting the freeze, not playing the come around, not getting the hit and roll, and now it's BC that can get in there first.
Great time to throw a draw for Jimmy here. It's definitely speeded up to game speed here now in this spot, so no excuses here now, and he should have the feel here.
Line's good. Wait on, late room. Top beat. Line's good. Go. Gotta go. Wait on, late. Go hard.
Hard, guys.
Hard.
Hard, guys.
Keep going. Hard, you got her.
You got her.
Hard. Come on, you got to bury a bit. Go. Come on, Ty. Go. Keep going. Good shot. Good scrub.
Whew. Good sweep.
Nice spot for that one. Maybe a foot or so deeper, but you had to keep in front of the tee line.
So BC sitting the 3 without last draw.
Yours are coming down a bit.
Yeah, they are. They won at 95. I gave them an 84.
I'm not sure about the stones. That might be part of the conversation, because every time that actually the pair of rocks that Jim's throwing has been thrown as a draw, the brushers weren't terribly unhappy, and it looks like it really is slowing.
It's hard, isn't it? Because Jim asked for a time from his front end. The front end have their own stones, which could, in this case, could possibly be a hair quicker than both of the skippers, and that can give you that misread where you say, oh no, it's a 395 or whatever it is, but you heard Jimmy say to John, I threw a 384, which is a fair about maybe 4 feet, 3 feet
90
heavier than what they wanted.
Short, 84, we're just top 8, so
Probably 80.
I'm saying I think 1 at 80.
Ooh, that's low for me.
I don't know.
That's a lot.
I haven't
Coming
thrown
this
much many
way.
draws with you.
Yeah. Coming this way, like for the draw, the button, I was close to a 3. Look, sir.
T-line.
Kevin Koe in the first for the Alberta skip here in 6. He trails by 1.
8.
8. 8.
Hey, line's good. Line's good. Yep, get it back. Whoa, Rube. Whoa. Finish it up, Carter. Let it curl. Rube.
Real nice line here. It should bust across once it gets to that line.
Yes.
Boy, does it ever dive. Look at this now. As he'll drag it to the back 8, just beyond the 4 foot to sit for the shot stone for the moment.
Completely buried around a rock that's in the 8 foot. That's a beautiful surface. Look at that.
Keep talking, boys.
Maybe about 5 more feet.
Well, keep talking means to communicate, because this is a very tricky path to follow that down. You saw the break and when it happened for Kevin Koe, and in particular if Jim Stone's or slide is a little bit different and they're having trouble reading it, you have to be communicating what it's going to do.
Trying to come right down on the corner.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Back 4.
Line's good. Wait on, Lee.
You heard
Go to curl, guys.
Tyrell Griffiths say looks good out of his hand. Griffith on the left, Rick Sawatsky on the right.
Don't want to.
Back 4.
Ton of line here.
Free throw red.
Yeah, weight's all there.
And that extra weight, and so it won't break. And it does use the backing to be shot stone.
I thought that was like less nice to Koe.
Heavy draw. Like 3 more feet than I just threw you like that?
We gotta touch it, right?
Yeah.
Jimmy was only, I don't know, 8-10 inches heavy, and we're right behind the sheet. He's nearly 2 feet wide. Interesting what they did to that one.
And a wait.
That extra speed didn't get to the center line, I believe. As you mentioned, there's a lot more curl center line out.
Get in the zone.
Clean it. Just clean. Easy, Nolan.
Just a quiet tap. Move it back and get the deuce.
Clean, good. Clean.
It's very nice weight. This will move a little bit.
He wanted 3 feet more, and that's enough. Very nicely done. Kevin Koe, Alberta will pick up 2, retake the lead. They were one of the favorites in Sochi, and they didn't disappoint Canadian curling fans as they won the gold medal 9-3. Brad Jacobs, Ryan Fry, EJ, and Ryan Harnden bringing gold back to Canada. And then early Tuesday morning, they arrived home in Sault Ste. Marie in the snow to friends, family, and a lot of people from the Soo. The local airport jammed full, the gold medalists receiving a hero's welcome. Meanwhile, now in Flims, Switzerland, the World Junior Curling Championships are going on. And for the women, Kelsey Rock and her team out of the Saville Sports Center in Edmonton, they picked up a win over the U.S. So they are now in a first-place tie with Korea and Russia, Switzerland all at 5-2. And the Canadian men, that's Braden Calvert out of the Deer Lodge in Winnipeg, is battling his way back into contention. He has now won 2 in a row. He sits at a record of 4-3 in a big bunch, tied at 4-3 that includes Italy, Scotland, and Switzerland. Yeah, welcome back, Cotter. Indeed, as Jim Cotter comes home, the Kamloops native is back home with his team from the Vernon and Kelowna curling clubs. Cotter throwing the 4th stones, but skipped by John Morris. They find themselves down by 1 as we welcome you back. And here in the 7th, it is BC. It does have the last rock. They have the hammer, playing the Red Stones.
Easy. Whoa, 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 whoa. Good, Annie. Good shot.
Okay. Yeah, came down to hack. It was solid though the whole way.
Nice deuce by Alberta, and it came on skip stones with Kevin Koe making the nice come around, which set up the deuce, and then the tap for 2. So this end they put up the center guard, and nice come around by BC. There you just saw the little hit to sit 2. We'll see if Carter can make good contact with those ones in the house.
This is the spot Carter's been wide on twice. I've always found, Linda, being a right-handed player and you're crossing the center line like that, your body starts left of the line and you try to track it back a little bit. It's very easy to hack games, obviously, straight down the line. It's very easy to slide tight in that spot. You have to back it up if in the case of Carter, and it's just not going to curl.
That is a great example of alignment.
That's it?
That's all I've got.
Okay, Newfoundland and Labrador. Because you just sort of stopped it.
It's your turn, Ben.
Okay, and Kathy, Newfoundland, Labrador, 3-1. Stone of Jamie Murphy, Nova Scotia on the way.
Who's got good alignment, Linda? As it comes out of the hack here. Drawing to the 4-foot against 3.
Let's go for T. Have a look. Have a look. Whoa, 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 whoa. Just T-line. Let's go for T.
Jamie Murphy in his second Brier appearance went 4-7 in Saskatoon in 2012. Lovely draw to get the single 3-2. Thank you, Kathy. Do you want to finish up now, Linda? Or you...
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, just the fact that they did a lot of research over the last few years about what's successful, and oh my, how could you do that? Speaking of things that we look into, that was a tough way to miss. But watch this poke it right through. Look at how close to both of the reds. My goodness. No, the fact that if you can line up in the hack, basically you're on track. And so quite often, as long as you can line up and get that initial motion forward online, you don't have to worry after that. That's why we say then you can focus on the speed that you're required and a nice release. But as soon as those initial motions are offline, it is just a recovery mission, and then you struggle with either flipping the release or struggling with the weight.
Kind of like going over here. Yeah. Try to split these two. Yeah.
Been a funny game. You know, Carter can't buy one, and Jimmy's missed the odd draw, which is very uncharacteristic. The rest of the curlers have been unbelievably good, but great opportunity here, albeit one corner guard's usable, but certainly a chance to sit 3 early in the end.
Line's good. Yeah, all there. Line, whoa, well, just top 8, Jim, just to here. Just to here, just
This is always when it's really interesting, because most of the time when you have last rock, you're trying to set up a deuce. A multiple score beyond that's a little bit of a gift, maybe a wonderful shot, but most of the time you're setting up a deuce. So quite often you will see curlers leave rocks closer together than you might think, and sometimes it's because they will sacrifice the double to save the deuce. They don't want to give up the chance for a deuce by going for a 3 that might actually cause them more trouble.
Yeah, with Pat Simmons throwing a 2 here and Kevin Koe throwing 2, there's an extremely good chance it's not going to be a 3-ender for BC. So try to maintain that deuce, preserve that as long as possible. So Pat was brought to this team for this shot. He's so good with the upweight shot.
One, and he tried to roll it over. It doesn't get there. But how many times have we seen an end set up like this for BC, where they're trying to score 2, 3, and the rocks have been spread out like this, and except for those 2 missed shots by Jimmy Cotter, you know, when he came up. This has been sort of the scenario every time that BC has had the last rock.
Yeah, it is, and I'm putting the blame right back on Carter Rycroft. He's just really struggled with that release and you know, missing in the wrong spots. And yeah, you're right. And the Alberta team can't go to the well too often here. The 1-point lead. It's a little bit skeptical at this point. Only 3 shots left for Alberta to take away this 3-ender.
Look, it's
Dead. I need my other rock. What are you throwing?
Give him the 2.
The 2.
2 rock.
I think they're discussing the fact that those lights are not performing the way they want
Yeah,
to.
we'll get it after. We'll get it after.
Yeah.
Smart for John just to change it up, stay in his rhythm. He wants to throw. John's that type of person. He doesn't want to wait around here. So just take the other stone, back to the routine, and just throw the same shot you're going to throw.
Whoa, bump down.
Never.
No.
Now, just a point here. Should that not have been conveyed down to Cotter that I'm throwing a different stone, or did I miss that?
Well, John is the one actually calling the ice as the skip, so he would have known if he needed to make that adjustment.
All right.
So no.
No.
One more time.
No.
No.
Wow. Oh.
First game.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
7th.
You didn't let him off very easily either, Linda.
No.
I don't know.
Just pick on Victor.
Oh.
He does have the keys, though, eh?
I do, and I know where the seat warmer is.
Get a sliver lucky off the back.
3/4 is close.
We did see a little bit of that at the Scotties, and they actually changed their decision about how to approach it partway through because the battery is malfunctioning. And so at the Scotties, they decided to let the person throw and fix it in the break.
Pretty simple double here, and they're going to try to get cute and feather it back and try to get the third one. You got to be careful. You might only get one by doing that.
This is plan B.
And he will run it back and get 2. Pat Simmons.
You know, I like that call better.
I do too.
Now, mind you, it was thought of halfway down, but it was a chance to sit 2 here, but you can raise that yellow one quite easily.
Yeah, and almost got shot rock.
Yeah.
Actually, very close.
You like top 8?
Okay, we need to be part of the 8-foot, boys. Looks like. So you gotta go close.
Top
Wait
8.
only. Yeah. Hard, line's great.
Hard, guys.
There's another tough brush here for Griffith and Sawatsky, and now Cotter out to join them too.
Come on, Ty.
Boy, they need to get something. Just bite it. No, again.
That little spot on the ice is going to haunt them. That's the spot that Jim Cotter came up light twice. I don't know what it is.
It's all right, Jimmy.
All right. No worries.
A couple choices for them. You know, it could be over cliff there. It could be a little bit of a flatter area. It could be a little bit slower going one direction. Sometimes you get a little bit more heat at one end of the rink. The warmer area is usually quicker. So this could be a thickness of ice where the surface temperature is a little different, or it could be human error. I don't think John threw that very hard.
No more than control, I know that.
That's the
How
trick
much,
with the sport, isn't it? Is figuring out what the actual answer is to that question. Now, because of that, the wrong double being made by Alberta, this is a pretty easy run back for Mr. Koe.
Good control.
Chance to sit 2.
Clean it. Clean it. Yep. Yes. Gotta go, guys. Gotta go.
And watch where it rolls 2, and it'll spin back. No, it'll be out.
So a brushing error. That quiet weight did curl.
Panic.
Because the best you get, Jimmy, is he freezes. Nose?
Yeah.
Kevin wanted to hang around badly there to keep the force alive.
Control.
Control, guys.
If you're BC, you could make a different approach. You could try and go around that rock that just came up short, but this is an odd end. And
Solid control.
Clean. Okay with the blank in this situation.
Clean. Good. Yep, keep on, keep on, keep on. Good scrub. Shot, Jimmy.
Man, it's sure sludgy in there.
Yeah.
There's the answer. They're saying it's the ice is maybe a shade softer in that spot.
Same everything, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Kevin's going to give this a try. He's going to try to roll 10 feet right behind those two corner guards.
Same weight?
Not a lot of risk. That red one that's almost in the rings could be split on, so he definitely wants to hang around, though. If you roll right out, they might try that split.
Lean! Lean!
Whoa! No! Whoa! Whoa, never!
Lean! No!
No!
Final stone, Kevin Koe, Alberta. And they'll roll it to the center line.
We gotta take the intern in it. Get your pass, get the two prints. Okay, Jimmy.
Jimmy will, on these heavyweight hits, you'll see the old-fashioned backswing. Give him that little extra bit of inertia coming out, a little bit more speed.
Final stone looking for the blank. Jim Cotter. BC has won 4 titles since the first in 27, and at last was Greg McCauley in 2000. Blank goes on the board, and Alberta continues to lead it 6-5. Day 1 of the Tim Hortons Brier, the Canadian Men's Curling Championship. Let's update Prince Edward Island against Manitoba. And it took a little while. He expected Manitoba to be a little bit better in this. They seemed to maybe just a stutter start for them, but putting all kinds of pressure now on Eddie McKenzie and PEI.
Well, their rock placement is a lot better, Vic. They're in front of the tee line, and for Eddie McKenzie, he's getting in trouble on his first shot. Did not clear the front. Jeff drew around again. Needs the 4-foot, a piece of the button.
Needs to really bite that white, and he'll come up light. And it's a steal of 1 for the 3-time Canadian champion Jeff Stoughton out of the Charles Wood in Winnipeg, and he leads it 5-3. Our featured game in this opening draw on this Saturday afternoon from Kamloops is BC against Alberta. The blank in 7. You saw the little hammer. It means it belongs. The last rock to BC, playing the Redstones down by 1. 6-5, Alberta leading.
You hear this?
You can definitely bury around corner guard, so it's a good chance to set up deuces on this ice. Carter is being asked to play the run back.
Hard, hard, hard,
Yep.
hard,
Hard!
hard, hard! Whoa, 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 whoa.
And the shooter will spill in, sit full in the just on the edge of the 12.
How much you got, Ty?
Linda, is that a little bit of a...
quarter?
The game is now so much towards the middle.
You like that at all?
Has corner play
Okay.
not been forgotten, but almost taken for granted?
In some cases it has. Definitely there is that race to the button because of the fact that many teams start with that center guard and then the come-arounds and the angle freezes. But I think when you get to teams like Kevin Koe, you think of some of the great teams, Jeff Stoughton, for example, that can play the upweight. Often that center area is cleared out, and then the play moves to the corners. So it's not really forgotten. It just may be delayed a little bit nowadays.
Hard only! Hard line! Hard! Whoa, whoa! That's good. That's good. It's almost better. It's almost better.
What a debut for Northern Ontario and Jeff Curry out of the Fort William Curling Club in Thunder Bay. Wins big, 13-5. over New Brunswick and James Grattan. That's our first final.
Oh. Yep, gotta go. Hard. Yep. Whoa. 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 Yep. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Keep going. Keep going. Good shot,
Pretty good. Totally flat.
Real good shot by Carter.
Newfoundland and Labrador with a 3-2 lead. That's Brad Gouju. And he is sitting the shot stone. Why? Little angle raise here might get him more than one.
Absolutely. He made a really nice double to lie. 3 on his first one. If he can hit this on an angle, 3 for sure, maybe 4.
Wow.
Whoa, whoa. Wait. Clean. Control. Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Brad Gouju, Brett Gallant calling line, Adam Casey, Jeff Walker, and he'll get his 3.
Oh, no.
Ah.
Sorry. Okay, that's good. Still tough.
Probably had a beauty.
He just held it nice and straight.
How much we can do here, Pat?
It's pretty thin.
Oh. Take the roll ourselves.
Pretty much have to.
Pretty thin. Not much we can do. They're talking about the double.
I think you got to roll there.
To where? Like, you're
just going to roll behind this.
Yeah. You can?
Just boards.
Okay.
That's the other option. Just those soft weight hit and roll to the broom. Hit and keep the yellow double away from BC at this point. Sit 2. The default here is Pat hits this a little thin, which has been happening all day. It's so straight down here. You can still make that double. Softer weight, hang around.
Slight board. Head down. Yep. Gotta go. Really gotta go. Whoa.
Easy.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
No. Gotta roll it, Carter. Gotta go. Gotta go.
What are we doing?
He gave up on the roll to the wide side and was waiting for it to curl, and there was no way with this relatively straight ice conditions it was going to curl enough to do anything but sit there.
Plus, Pat was way narrow. That curled more than expected. You wonder if it is soft in that size. That's exactly where the draws, the out-turn, inside-out draws came up way light by John Morris and Jimmy Cotter. So it's you wonder, because that wasn't even close to where Pat wanted that one.
Well, you don't like to hear the front end to say, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good sign, is it?
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Whoa. No.
Playing the double.
1. And then over on the corner. Well, it tucks itself in, though. It's pushed that rock out into the open in the 8-foot and is sitting behind cover.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Roll in.
I thought I was money. You pretty much got
Out of your hand, you were like, you wanted to
half
yell.
rock. Yeah. Okay, well, good to know.
Yeah.
There it is again. They're still learning. They're still computing what these spots are doing, and that ran a lot straighter than John Morris thought it would.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Hard. 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 Whoa. Hard. Go, Kevin.
Pretty good. Go, go.
To sit 2.
Beauty.
Good rush. No, I don't mind that either. Okay.
You can roll it there. It's pretty good, right?
Okay, I like it. Board weight.
Okay.
The first look was to hit shot stone, but if you roll in behind the other yellow, you may have trouble getting that second yellow out. So change in plan.
Yeah, the top shot, I like that. In this case, I like this a lot better, Linda. Just get that. That's the dangerous one. The other one they can deal with later, and this is makeable. You could make the double with the old Ed Wernick weight here, double, and then try to save the thrown rock.
Solid board. Clean.
John Morris and his last. We play in the 8th.
Yes!
They got him again now. Griffith, Sawatsky. They just run it by the shot stone in the 4-foot and then roll the shooter over to sit for second and third shot. BC with last rock here in 8.
Call, Jimmy.
I wonder if it's easiest just to throw it up and...
Yeah, that's the best way to split those, I think, is stay just high on that one. And
I'm just worried about putting this somewhere where he can just... I mean, I guess we got to freeze, but it's not easy, right?
Probably, like, you're probably okay with normal, eh?
Well, even if I roll into there,
yeah,
it gets a lot harder.
Yeah.
I'm thinking up, not way up, but...
Firm normal? Solid normal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready for skip and fourth stones in the numbers so far, Linda.
Well, they've played the same numbers of draws and hits, which is interesting, but look at the draws. Don't forget Jim Cotter has struggled, missed 2 in the same end. That gave up the steal of 2, where Kevin Koe is perfect on the draws, so quite a difference there.
Player numbers are brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Big shot here, because you can actually roll this into a really bad spot, and you'd be looking at 2 red ones in behind the cover.
Go, go, go! Rycroft, decent, called off. Now trying to roll it over and far enough. No.
Pretty good.
He'll sit it there. 4 foot. Sitting 2 for the moment.
Easy board.
Gee. You don't want to roll full there. You roll half.
Just didn't get on that one soon enough.
Yeah, hack weight.
Okay.
For sure. Like that, Jimmy?
I think that both the line calling situations are tough for both teams, and by that I mean I think John Morris is under calling a little bit. I think he's worrying about it not curling, and he's missing some of those opportunities. And on the other side, I think Kevin Koe may be over icing a little bit, and they don't have the chance to get the rolls.
Just a ton of them wide, Alberta, that's for sure. And then, you know, we call that a miss. What a wonderful shot. He hit and rolled 4 feet. He tried to roll 4.5 feet, but you're right, Linda. They are getting fooled just a little bit, but they're all getting closer. You can see it. Jim hits and rolled half underneath there. This creates a big problem for Kevin Koe.
Whoa. Good hack. Whoa. Clean. Yeah.
Jim Cotter's first.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Couple of late licks, and there's the roll over, and just down on the face. And just a little bit of it tucked in behind those 2 guards on the center line.
Great spot. Oh boy, nice shot. That's the, out of all the options, that's option A.
Yeah.
Right? Great call on the half weight, because if we go board there, you know what it
That
does.
time they got the roll.
Exactly. Yeah,
Great call.
Wider.
Yeah, good call on the half weight.
Just about to the freeze.
Yeah, great shot.
Up unless I'm just there. How can we give up 3? I don't think there's a spot, is there? I mean, I'd have to be way out here.
Yeah, you have to be, line it up to be pretty poor.
Yep.
I mean, we can get shot rock, eh? We can get...
No, I know, yeah. I just don't think you want to rub real far.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think pretty tough to do that.
Dangerous shot with a 1-point lead here. You could throw the bullet. Kevin can throw it hard enough to peel that rock out of there, and then it's an easy draw for 2, but that only puts them 1 down with the advantage of last stone.
I think for weight out here.
I'm going to try to glue one on the face here, but if the angles aren't right, they could give up 3.
Yep. I don't mind this.
The only real bad spots is if you are way out, but you're more likely to rub the top 8 one to get there.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. What do you think we can do for weight here?
I like similar to those interns that he was throwing. Like,
it's a little heavier than those
or
draws.
wider than draw off, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford
Manitoba
to be
leading 5-3, and they're sitting 1 again. They've stolen the last 2 ends, singles in the last 2 to take the lead, and more pressure on Eddie McKenzie, Kathy.
Well, he's trying to run his own stone back. Jeff's final stone is the farthest one on the left-hand side. He was trying to go around in lie 2, but just very slow, very flat on that outside half of the sheet, but near the crowd.
Eddie McKenzie in a 4th Brier appearance, the former PEI junior champion, runs it back and runs it by. Steal 1 more. That's 3 straight steals for Manitoba, 6-3.
Kevin said he thought it might over curl, if anything, and he was right.
Go! Okay. Not bad.
He tried to bounce it, so he protected the combination in the forefoot.
Yeah, that was the key. It just bounced off enough. I don't think they can come around that out same side and tap that.
This isn't that. You only got a quarter of this.
Oh, I know.
Let's call
Almost
time.
like this
Let's call
one
timeout.
better than this one.
Timeout.
So timeout being called by BC. John Morris.
You think?
If I get in turn draw for 2.
That ain't easy either, man.
You got the whole side of the forefoot.
This one here? Just like hack?
With hack weight.
That'll bring Coach Pat Ryan
How much you got? That's
to the ice.
A quarter, probably. Maybe a shade more than a quarter. That's what I saw.
3-time Canadian, 2-time world champion.
Shot is in turn draw for 2.
If this is here, like, because that draw ain't no bargain either, eh?
No.
If this was there, I like it, but it's borderline not there.
I think it's going to move pretty good, though. Like that center line.
If you hair the guard with just shrew.
I wonder if you...
I like that one.
If you like that, Jim, I don't mind it. Because it's not like the draw is a gimme 2. The draw is a tough 2, right? If the draw was a gimme 2, I like the draw.
Oh, absolutely.
But because it's not a gimme, I don't mind back 8 with back ring, just shrew with this, right? Just shrew, you got it. It's there's enough room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay. Just shrew it with that same spot, right?
Trying to hair past this top yellow rock here. If they can get enough of the red onto the red, take the yellow back, and the shooter should
honestly,
stay.
I think the weight you got to throw.
It's all about
I
line.
think it's almost there just for 2.
So what do you think as far as this call? Do you think this is management of a guy that has a draw percentage of 50?
Yeah, you're probably right, because I think they would normally play the draw, and it's really full forefoot, not a lot of line problems. This creates weight and line, but you're right. If you're 50% in your draws, you're not playing the draw, are you?
Tight, dude. It's there, but it's like you have to have perfect weight and perfect line.
Other than that, it's a
I
gimme.
think you can make this draw for 2. Let's do that.
He's changing it.
Going up 1 here.
The draw is the easier shot
Oh, yeah.
by far.
If you think it's there,
But he's trying not to convince a guy to really.
as long as you throw just back 12.
Yeah, Jim
Back
wants
12.
to play this, and I don't think John's going to talk about it.
No.
Well, she's tight, boys. It's gonna be tight.
Back line?
She's tight, boys.
I think the theory, the draw's the easiest shot. But the theory is they're both difficult. Why not make the 1 for 3? That's the theory, but this is a hard shot.
Boy, when you look at it from that angle, and how he's going to have to skinny the guard. John Morris loves the way Jim Cotter plays.
Back line.
Didn't overrule him.
Whoa, whoa.
Just back 12 weight is what he wanted.
No.
Griffith, Sawatsky. Just passengers on this now, just watching this. Has to angle this back and will not. And so it will be just the single for BC to tie it.
Just really good curler for an old man, and just joking.
It never gets old coming to a Brier. It's exciting. You're hoping you play well, hope you get off to a good start. It's, checking out the arena, making sure you get comfortable. I've grown up wanting to put that maple leaf on my back and represent Canada, and this is what it's all about.
They don't miss many shots, and if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to play solid, right from lead to skip and right from the first end to the last end. They just don't let down. They keep coming and coming.
And that's what will be coming your way tonight when we join you 9:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Pacific. We'll see Brad Gushue against Jeff Stoughton, 2 of the contenders for this year's championship, as we talked about it when we first joined you today, 9:30 Eastern Time. Newfoundland and Labrador on the ice against Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia trying to win their first Canadian Men's Championship since Mark Dacey back in 2004, and that's Jamie Murphy out of the Lakeshore Curling Club in Lower Sackville against Gushu and his team from the Ballyhaley in St. John's. You can see it's Newfoundland Labrador sitting the 2, and they'll jam it and give up the steal of 1, and it's handshakes and a win for Newfoundland and Labrador. Make the final 7-2 and an opening draw win for the 2006 gold medal winner, Brad Gushu. And we'll see him tonight again against Manitoba at 9:30 Eastern Time. We're tied at 6. Our featured game, BC against Alberta. And here in 9, it will be Alberta that has last rock, playing the Yellowstones. The Alberta lead, Nolan Thiessen.
Really hard.
Well, this is a dramatic end in the approach of the two teams, opposite approaches. There was a guard that was placed up. Alberta went open and is shot stone. BC ignored it and drew around, and that's because BC is trying to either force a single or steal. They do not want to be in a position where they give up the blank to Alberta and be tied coming home without last rock. So for a lot of this end, there will be risk attached to the approach for British Columbia.
You see this so many times. You try so hard to force them. You force them to 3.
Halfway.
There's that yellow one in there in behind the corner for Alberta already. Johnny's going to ignore it. You could tap it out, sit your 2.
Good. Halfway tight. All there.
Line's tight.
We're tight. We're tight.
Jimmy, keep that down.
Come back, getting better.
Whoa. Jimmy, you just keep that down.
Trying to keep it clean, but they want the outside sweeper to keep it clean so it doesn't slide any farther. It's already too deep.
A hard clean by the person next to the stone carries it an extra 2 feet, so that would have been in the rings. It's close enough, unfortunately for BC. Too close.
Like a third.
You really think that?
Half probably, John's at thin half. Should spin it out.
Oh, a really thin half. I think you actually have to hit it right on that center line or less. Hit more than 2 inches of this rock, you're not going to make it. You're going to jam it. It's a fine shot for Carter.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Get out. Good.
Ooh, just.
That was a
different
throw. I think a much better throw by Carter. If you watch the way his fingers came off the stone, there was no playing with the release, so I think he was committed to the line that time.
Yeah, I think the intern side seems to be a lot more favorable for him today.
You have a couple feet here.
And I agree with you. I think it's more alignment than anything. So easy to keep your body straight down the middle and not twist the hips, shoulders, and knees towards that broom.
Top 8.
Freeze it.
Go.
Gotta go. It's picking.
Going to the freeze now. That Yellowstone is edge of 8.
Hard line.
Heard somebody say it's picking.
It's taking off.
Hard line. Hard line. Hard. Oh. Bounce it. No bounce.
Looked like you just caught a smudge early. Didn't have a chance.
That is the same side of the sheet that they have struggled with. They're going to be happy to get off this piece of ice, I think.
Yeah, no kidding, and it's it.
You got it.
I watched James Grattan's team missed 4 light in a row. Jeff Stoughton just tried to draw the top 4 foot, missed the ring short. Everybody's been light, so it's, it could be overclipped a little bit. It could be air flow, could be anything.
Wow, you're just leaving a double then.
Hey.
I thought you were a little aggressive with yours, and it
came down.
So they know it's slower. Carter's going to be aggressive here and give it a little extra.
Room.
Sticking to the same side of the sheet because they don't want to leave a double by trying to draw to the other side. And this has its risks attached as well.
Line is not good. Gotta be in though, guys. Gotta be in.
Very straight at this point. Hasn't picked up the curl.
Come on,
Thiessen and Simmons on the brush.
Justin.
And just in. And you've mentioned a couple of times saying overclipped. That's the ice makers, trying to just take the top of the pebbles off?
Yeah, when they put the fresh pebble on, it's obviously a sharp pebble. It creates some more friction. So what they do now is they come in with the scraper, the 4 foot blade, and they actually, it's like laser icer. They just take that top off. They call it nipping or clipping. And it just smooths that top running edge a little bit, and the rocks slide a little farther. If you take too much pebble off, you'll get more curl, more friction, and less speed. So that's a possibility.
You're not coming at my eyes with that scraper.
That's right.
No way. That's a pretty big blade.
John Morris.
Clean.
No.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa. Shooter.
Shooter time.
Yep.
1 and 2. We got them both.
Very nice.
I had to throw it a hair harder. And then we get the roll.
He was trying to get the roll, and as just said, with that speed, tough to roll that far. Still a great shot.
That's what makes John Morris as good as he is, though. It wasn't just the double. He was trying to throw it hard enough, get the right angle to guarantee the double, but actually roll it right across in behind.
Good.
That'll help the cause.
Hey.
Still the same battle. Kevin Koe trying to keep the rocks in a position where he can blank, and you can see John and Jim trying to figure out a way to prevent that from happening.
Yep. Whoa.
Easy.
Whoa. Yep.
Yeah.
Hard.
Hard.
Can't blank, set up the deuce, looking for a roll on this one. Not there.
Okay. Let's go with the intern. Let's go into it. I think it's an easier roll.
Now, John, it'd be much easier for John to roll this way, but that sets up an easy double, so they're going to go the long way. And if they can get it over there, because of this stagger, there's no really raise possibility, so it's tough to double those off. So good call here by John Morris. Tougher shot, but better result.
House. Yeah.
John Morris calling them on. Tyrell Griffith, Rick Sawatsky.
Gave that one a little help. Just inside with his hand.
Sorry, boys. A little inside there.
And one of the things that happens when the ice is a little straight, sometimes you do give it that soft release. You mentioned John does have the knowledge and the expertise to get it started if you want. He didn't want to do it there, and you saw that little inside motion with the hand.
Yep.
He was going inside out too, where there's a little more curl. So it's just that's the old adage: you don't want to be narrow in a swingy spot.
Good control.
Pat Simmons as we play third stones. Here in the ninth, in a 6-6 tie, opening draw.
Yep. Little roll, just a little bit. Go.
Okay. Try for the long roll, hey?
Getting more and more difficult with that rock creeping out of the house.
Okay.
And if we roll far, we roll far, right?
Yeah.
So I like control again.
Okay.
Which turn do you want?
Out.
Interesting situation. You could hit this dead on. Wouldn't be in the rings, but then what does Alberta do? They hit it. Cotter goes around with this last one, forces you. So. The other option here is hit and roll behind that staggered corner guard situation again. Always options. It's amazing. There's very few times it's cut and dried.
Whoa.
Close.
Never. Clean.
Close.
Clean. Whoa.
Control.
Whoa.
Yep.
No roll. Shot.
Perfect.
Manitoba leading 6-3 on Prince Edward Island, and they have stolen singles in 6, 7, 8. We're playing 9. PEI's Eddie McKenzie.
Well, he's got a chance here. Jeff flashed on his final stone. They looked at whether the double was there, maybe for 3, electing to play just the straight back for the 2.
And that will do for 2. And it's Manitoba now with a 1-point lead and the last rock coming home.
Third is probably safe.
But it's still, yeah, probably normal, eh?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Okay.
Kevin comes down and rolls over this way into that type of area. That's a great shot, but you just might see John Morris ignore it because of this stagger. Come over here and force Alberta to take a single. That was the plan from day one this end.
Well, you remember back, isn't it funny you say that? Because when the shot was initially played, and they were going bounce it, and he said, no bounce, no bounce.
Right.
Leave the stagger.
Right. Yeah, it's true. Very true.
Right on.
Never, 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 ever, ever.
Can't never touch. No. Never touch.
Can't touch it.
And there it goes.
Okay.
Even if he misses. I like going around the stagger card.
Sort of like this, Jimmy, if we can get there.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Just got to throw it, throw it hard.
Definitely curls enough there.
I think that's the shot.
Yep.
Trying to put it around those
the only other
staggered
thing
stones.
is the split.
You need chop grade.
The split's not bad.
You can split on either or, really.
Hey?
Yeah.
Like that at all?
Split's not bad.
That there? Splits? Okay, let's go here.
Let's go here.
Split
Short,
works.
nice
They're
and
both have some difficulty, and the splits one of those ones you got a line problem. But this is the one that they haven't been able to throw hard enough. This particular spot. Be interesting to see how hard Jimmy elects to throw this.
Well, this is it, isn't it, Linda? This is this tricky spot, right?
This is the spot. They really don't like it, but it is the better place to go because of the overlap guards.
You'd love to get this as deep as you can to have maximum curl, too. You can't be top 8 here. Won't be buried in the blank's on. So he's almost got to throw this out of his comfort zone to get it back there.
Hard line!
Right away. Sawatsky and Griffith have got him.
Hard line!
This is diving at those corners now, and here they go. Here they go. Here goes the crowd. Here they go. Trying to drag this by, and they will not. And it'll roll in and just bite.
Still a little light.
Yeah, they just cannot get it in their head to throw it harder there.
Okay, Jimmy.
Sorry, John. Jesus. Tight on you.
Yeah, I just got the old lean going. I almost pointed. I didn't want to throw you off.
No, I knew where I was. I was just trying to.
If you set it back, you would have been all right. But you sort of let it go straight.
Just kind of more like normal up, soft peel.
Yeah.
So final stone and looking for the blank.
Clean it. Oh, up.
Clean's good.
Kevin Koe.
Yep. Oh.
Good. And good it is for the blank here in 9. So we'll go to 10. Tied it at 6. And Alberta will have the all-important last run.
Everyone.
It's now time for today's secret word. The secret word is chip. Go to finaln.ca and enter this word for your chance to win.
We're here all week in Kamloops. Tim Hortons Brier. Don't forget to tip your waitress. We're tied at 6 as we go to 10, and Alberta has the last rock playing the Yellowstones.
We know how difficult it can be to steal anyways. If you look at statistics over the last 14 Briers, if you are tied without the hammer, you only win 18% of the time. But a lot of the reason that happens, that you aren't successful, is you can't get the guards in position, but that first tick is missed, so a chance for Rick to put up a second guard.
Just clean. Just clean.
Hard line. Hard line.
You're over.
If you're
You're over. Just clean.
British Columbia here, you probably want Kevin Koe drawing. A, hits like the wind, but B, hasn't thrown too many draws. And the draw weight's been elusive for a lot of players out here today.
What do you like? Do you like it again?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I like it. No more weight.
Could tick the back one. The one that's in close to the rings is a little more dangerous than this one.
A little less. A little less. Whoa, whoa. 9, 10. Oh, that's really got a curl. See what the control. This is not good. Still got triple guards.
Oh, he's tracking this straight back.
Boy, he does right to it. And raises it in. Goodness.
Better make a shot.
I like going to the back one there, Linda. I really do that. Look how long that yellow one is out there. It's not really in play.
And the other option when you're worried about that sort of situation, he didn't ask for more weight. You could actually tighten the ice or play it the way Rachel Homan plays coming into the rock and actually play the more weight. Unlikely you're going to leave 3 in the center line area.
Exactly. That's the worst option that they came up with.
Yep. Hard line.
Gotta go. Gotta go away.
Hard line. Line's good. Hard line.
Gotta go.
Line. Hard line. Hard squad. Come on. Hard. 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 Hard.
For Cotter and Sawatsky, this is something special. Chest back, button back of the tee line. Great brushing.
It was the perfect weight. If they hadn't brushed it, it could have stayed in front of the tee line. But look at the work to get it by. And that is soft in behind.
Now Carter Rycroft trying to open things up.
Jeez. Carter can't buy one today. It was close. A lot of red in here now.
Yeah. Nice and high.
Difficult to get to that shot rock too. You know how tight it came by that guard. It's over buried.
Get away a little on the line side, boys.
Side.
So.
We're there. So it's all there.
Halfway.
Well then. Clean. Whoa.
Don't want him.
Whoa. No. Let it grab. Let it grab. Whoa.
Sit, baby. Sit, baby. Sit. Okay.
And turn across the face.
Need to get him slower shoes.
In. Yeah. 3/4. Not enough. Thicker than that.
No thinner.
Yeah.
3/4 is good though.
Hard.
One more time for Carter Rycroft.
Hard. Go.
Run it back. Oh, he just absolutely just runs it by. Yeah. How close is this?
You think of the other end where he put a rock through 2 in the house. He's missed by just a little bit.
He doesn't need to go out and buy a lottery ticket today. It's just one of those games.
I'd like to go a little bit. Okay, go then.
Extremely good opportunity to steal now.
Line's good.
Line's good, guys.
Line's good. Clean, just clean. Let it work. Line's good.
Let it work a bit.
Let it work.
Line's good.
Just whoa, just over. Just over. Whoa.
Sit, baby. Sit.
Sorry, Johnny. Shoot. Contact. Okay, boys, tough one.
Has he lined them up? Is that why he's a little upset?
Yeah, there's a combination now, but it still has to be made. It's a tough shot for Pat Simmons here. He's going to try to run back triple here. Maybe get them all, actually.
It's been the kind of game with Carter struggling, though.
Yep.
It has been Pat having to make the big shot.
This is huge, and they're running out of time if you're Alberta to have a shot for your skipper's last one. Need to get at least a couple here.
Yep. Whoa.
Simmons.
Roll into Carter.
1-2, and they run it by, and they'll leave their own shooter out in front.
Cover out, button.
So just basically an exchange of stones.
Big trouble here.
Right there.
Kevin knows that I could see a little bit on the outturn side, but John's going to take that away, and he's going right to the button here.
Speed's good here, boys. Yeah. Close, real good.
No, man.
Easy.
T-line, then.
Wait only. Line's good.
Back 4.
Line's good.
Back 4.
Whoa, man. Whoa.
That's heavy. No. Back 8.
Right
no.
on.
Come down.
And Morris, no, yes, okay. Bump and roll off to the back edge of the 4 to sit 2. Handshakes on sheet A, and Manitoba will open with a win. It was a so-so start for Manitoba. And then they made those 3 steals in 6, 7, and 8, and they rolled to a 7-5 win over PEI. So Jeff Stoughton, a winner out of the Charleswood in Winnipeg over Eddie McKenzie from the Charlottetown Curling Complex, leaving just the 1 game on the ice in this opening draw of the 85th Tim Hortons Brier in a 6-6 tie. BC and Alberta. Alberta does have the last rock playing the Yellowstones, and how big a mistake was that by Morris?
Boy, you know, you hate to criticize John. He's been unbelievable the whole game, played big percentages, but he'd love that one back. If you're ever going to miss that, miss it light. If it stops right there, how's this shot made?
Wow, comes back button, though.
No, this is it. Okay, yeah. Right on it, buddy. Hey, it's real nice speed, Jimmy. It's...
Yeah. Do you have to move it at all?
Well, it depends. Okay. If the line's good, we don't.
Kind of ironic that Jen Cotter's missed a ton of these, and you heard John in the 5th end break say if anybody had to make a big shot in the 10th end, I wanted to be Jim Cotter, because he makes a lot of them, and you just know if you're Alberta, he's going to glue this one on there.
But curling just 42%, Linda, on his draws, and only 25 on his outturn draws.
Having quite a few down the same path, and that was going the other direction. We'll see if you can figure out this path.
Go real good.
Room.
Top 4.
Whoa. Clean.
Room down.
Yep. Where is he?
Top 4.
Clean.
Gotta go.
Right.
They're going. Sawatsky and Griffith. They're going. Sawatsky and Griffith. Crowd's going too. Right down to it for Shot Stone.
Wait's good.
I don't know if that was made because of the spot and they knew it better, or just that point you mentioned, Russ, where he steps up for the big shot.
It's true. I think that spot's very quick, and you can give it to your brushers if you're smart. Beautiful shot.
I like getting that inside angle.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything else. I mean, we're...
I've called a timeout.
So their 5th player, Jamie King.
I mean, you can, even if you make the double peel and don't get in here, you can run the guard back like that too, right? At least you have a shot.
Jamie was with this team when they won their Canadian and World Championship in 2010.
You like the double peel?
I think you got to try the double peel. Even if you get the yellow roll over here, you have something right for that.
So I was thinking if you hit this in and open that one up, but hitting this yellow end doesn't really, unless I hit it.
Unless you flush it.
Oh, I got to hit it here, right?
Yeah.
But then I've got off that. But that's hardly there.
Yeah. And that's really thin. What do you like?
That's not much of a shot.
Okay.
What turn?
Out turn.
If you're Kevin Koe, you really can't get in here. It's overburied. You can't throw any weight at that one. It's going to jam anyway. So they're just going to try to clear the front down here, hit it on this side, hope he can run it in this way. But there's an extremely good chance, even if those are made, the red one's still going to be shot rock. So it's basically clear the front, roll out of the way a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm not sure you're going to have a shot in your next one. You almost have to move that one off the button. That's a tall order to get all three.
Doing it his first. He's got one. Run it back, and he'll open it up. But that shooter stays out there again, right on the center line.
I don't think so. No, I think we got to guard the out turn.
Out turn with Hackaway, he probably has over the top.
That's what I'm thinking.
Or the run back, right? He's got that run back. Right, he's got the run back maybe on the nose, so right here.
Has he got nothing on the intern?
I don't think so. But I think we go here, right? Just to confirm that.
Yeah.
So top 8.
Okay.
Okay.
Throw a top 8, top 12. Yeah. I don't see any. Yeah, he's got maybe something on this out turn, but this side he's got.
Don't give me any more ice with this one then.
He's got like at least 3/4 on this side.
Does he have the,
right?
Does he have the pick? Don't say it. Does he have the pick? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Because the 5 would count.
Well, let's try to go right here. Let's try. Hey, I think the ideal spot, boys, is right here.
So like same ice.
Yeah, same ice. Just take 3-4 feet off it.
Interesting. How important was that comment of Jim Cotter's to John? Don't give me any more ice.
Yeah, I think he thinks this rock's a little straighter. And remember coming home here in the 6th end, he threw a freeze that hung out about a foot and a half wider than he thought. So he's not going to play around with the ice here. He's going to just get a little less ice.
I'm thinking of hair less, John.
Yeah.
Just right here is where we want. Right here, Jimmy. Half. Not fully buried, just half buried.
This is one of those situations when you're Kevin Koe and you're looking at that house. They had that chance to get the yellow in a perfect spot. Comes out a few inches, 2 inches maybe too deep.
We can't
missed it the wrong way.
Oh. It's going to touch the 5.
I'm not sure Kevin's got much, even if this isn't made properly.
Top 8.
Let it work.
That's why you don't want to leave anything with it.
Quiet,
Anything, if it's wide open, there may be something. I don't know.
Right here, boys.
Final stone for BC.
Clean.
In a 6-6 tie, they have their shot rock trying to get to the top of the 8-foot, half covered. Sawatsky and Griffith. That's where they wanted it. That's where they got it. Boy, I tell you what, for a guy that hasn't been able to make anything, Cotter's just come through with 2 beauties.
Same, right on the nose. Dead nose.
Oh. This one's got to roll off too, I guess.
Oh yeah.
What's this?
Hey, Kevin, you probably call it, eh?
Okay.
You call it.
That's all.
Yeah.
Just yellow onto the red, Try to save your yellow. Make the red double at the 4-foot area here. Save that yellow one at the back of the button. If this yellow one wasn't here, it'd be a tough shot.
Pat Simmons has gone right up to that first stone, so it's up to Kevin Koe to call the line here. Final rock, trying to run it back. Run it back, one, and drives it high. And it will be BC that'll steal the win here in draw 1. Make the final BC 7, Alberta 6. Two great draws by Jim Cotter. BC opens with a win here in Kamloops.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee, a true Canadian tradition. The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group, creating a better tomorrow for families today, WFG. By Scotties Sponge Towels, Purex, and Cashmere, proud to support the exceptional women of the Scotties Tournament of Hearts. And by Capital One, what's in your wallet?
BC steals their way to a 7-6 win. Your game story?
Well, it's one of those you have to talk about some mistakes. In the middle part of the game, it was Jim Cotter missing 4 draws in 3 ends. But in the 10th, the mistakes by Alberta, missed the tick, missed the peel. Pat Simmons' draw goes heavy. And then Jim Cotter turns it around with the perfect freeze. And the leader, John Morris, at 94%.
The game story is brought to you by Travelers. It's better under the umbrella. Jim Cotter comes home to Kamloops and picks up a 7-6 win, BC over Alberta. Reminder, we're back with you at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. It's the 3-time Canadian champion, Jeff Stoughton from Winnipeg against Brad Gushue, the gold medal winner from the Olympics. That's when we talk to you again. Yes, the 12 best men's teams in Canadian curling are here at the 85th edition of the Tim Hortons Brier, the Canadian Men's Curling Championship on Canada's sports leader, TSN. Sports Center is next.